says we're alive. Yeah, Twitch says we're good. Looks like I closed YouTube, so hopefully we're good there too.
Does that mean we're clear?
Yeah, you're good. You're good on Twitch.
That was my no, that was my email.
Okay.
Yeah, it says we're live. We're live there too.
Okay. We're all good to go. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 303, recorded on October 29th, 2020. On tonight's episode, we talk about the last Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase for 2020. Apex Legends is delayed until 2021, and we watch Justin cry again. And more Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary missions. And of course, we answer your questions. Jesse, you know what to do.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Nintendo Dads. It's Marty here. You're listening to episode 303. It is October the 29th, 2020. And joining me tonight on the show is the usual cast of ghouls and goblins that we call the Nintendo Dads. You see what I did there? It's almost Halloween. Spooky, scary skeletons. Joining me all the way from the Great White North, Justin Masson. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It has been a real ups and downs for me for the last week.
I was going to say this has been a tough week.
It's been a journey. I'm going to tell you.
Started out as a tough week.
It did.
And then Nintendo swooped in to save the day.
Yeah. One of our clips from last week, it was funny. I was like, that did not age well.
No.
About the time that I was like, oh yeah, we're playing Apex during Extra Life, and it was like 24 hours later. Here's the funny part about that. I know we're going to get into this later. I had literally reached out to an kind of a insider that we know in that space, and I was like, "Hey, have you heard anything about Apex?" And I kid you not, less than 30 seconds later, I got tagged in that tweet from everybody that was like, "Apex is going down," and I was like, and I just wrote back in the DM, "Never mind." ...
Poor Justin.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
This is what is it? Justin was wrong. Justin was wrong. Justin was wrong.
I don't think I was wrong. I think I was misled. We'll talk about it later. It still hurts. It's still
Jesse,
fresh.
timestamp that for later, by the way.
It's still fresh.
I'll try to remember.
I want to add that to the soundboard. Speaking of adding things to the soundboard, Tim Off, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's been a busy week, but I've been able to squeeze in some gameplay now and then go back to being busy. So I'm excited. How you been?
Truth. I've been good. I will be real honest with you. The Nintendo Partner Direct was probably one of the highlights of my week this week. And also playing what came out of that. We're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes, because Nintendo didn't just drop a dump truck full of info. They dropped a dump truck full of games as well. And we've been playing a lot of those. Speaking of dump trucks, I don't know. That was just a terrible. Do they have dump trucks
from one week
Kansas
of good
City?
segues to this week, apparently.
I know. Listen, last week I kind of prepared my segues, and this week I rode my segue right off the cliff. Jesse Waldak, how you doing?
Pretty good. It was a weird week at work this week. Because this is the last week we can do releases. We go under system freeze to prepare for peak season. Credit card company, we kind of want our systems to work when people want to shop. So
no,
yeah, between Thursday night last week and Wednesday this week, we had 4 emergency releases to fix things that were found at the last minute.
Ooh.
So I think, but we think we're happy. We think we're good. We're not touching this thing until January. We're ready to go on vacation.
There you go. Well, guys, we've got a ton of reactions and things to talk about from the Partner Direct. So let's just dive right into the news, shall we?
Let's do it.
And of course, our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where you can go and join up in a great it's really the best community. We've really built the most fantastic, the big, beautiful community over there that we've built. It's fantastic. And lots of people joining up on the new yearly plan that you can be a part of. You can go over and switch your membership over to a yearly payment where it's one and done, guys. You pay it now and you leave the money management to us and not you. And so you pay once, you get the benefits of being a Nintendo Dad's patron for the entire year, including access to Discord and rewards at your tier and all that good stuff. Plus, it saves you about a month. It saves you a whole month. And so you can go and check that out over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. And hey, let me just remind you guys, over there every Thursday, we publish a show topics poll where you can go and vote to shape the show. Right? We pay close attention to that. So speaking of the show poll, this week on that poll, the number one requested show topic was our reactions to the Nintendo Partner Direct. And we're going to get to those in just a minute after we talk about this week in Nintendo. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to something different. What was that?
That was the new bumper.
It was.
Back in my day.
Play it one more time because I talked over it.
Back in my day.
There you go. We're going to try a little something different this week with this. We're just going to go through it by year. So this is stuff that happened this entire week, October 25th through the 31st, that we think is noteworthy and things that you need to know about. 1995, NHL 96, not 94, was released in Europe for the SNES. And following up 2 years later, Donkey Kong Land 3 was released in Europe for the Game Boy. I'm going to be honest with you here. I had forgotten that they had gotten that far into the Donkey Kong Land series on Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that they were able to put those games there in the first place was wizardry, but crazy. In 2000, this week, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask was released in North America for the N64. Still the only Zelda game I've never beaten.
I have never played it. I have it on my 3DS, never played it.
Me too.
I
got one boss.
I haven't finished. I didn't complete it until I played it on the 3DS. Then I was able to finish it.
I really struggle with it because I don't like being timed in a Zelda game.
Sure.
Where, it's like we're encouraging exploration, and before you say it, yes, I know you can rewind time. I don't like doing that.
Okay, not quite what I was going to say. Once you get to a certain point, there's a song that can slow down time. So yes, there's still a time limit, but you have all the time you need still.
And the thing is, I was working through it with a guide, and I really feel like that the remake came out since I've been here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we got a review code or something came out, and I started playing something else. Maybe that's what I'll play this weekend for my Halloween game.
There you go.
There's not really any spooky games that came out.
I'm going to challenge you on that one. We're going to talk about it for what I've been playing that I think you should pick up. I think it's a good Halloween game.
It came out February 2015, so almost 6 years ago.
Yeah. That was before I was on the show. Yeah. So 2002 NHL 2003 was released in Europe for the GameCube, as well as the greatest hockey game of all time, NHL Hits 2003, released for the Game Boy Advance. I'm not talking about specifically about that version, just NHL Hits is awesome. 2003 F-Zero GX was released in Europe for the GameCube. And in 2005, Pack and Roll was released in Europe for the DS on this week. 2007 saw some very major releases, with Metroid Prime 3 Corruption being released in Europe for the Wii, as well as Battalion Wars 2 and Manhunt 2 released in North America for the Wii. You guys, I didn't even remember those games.
I remember Manhunt. It was like a car game specifically, wasn't it?
It was a murder simulator.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, that was definitely not what I was thinking then.
Yeah,
I apologize. Sorry about that one.
It was pretty graphic.
What was the car? There was a car racing game, wasn't there? There was like some you're pretending to be a spy in a car.
Spy
Hunter?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yep.
Um,
Oopsies.
In 2008, Manhunt 2 was released in Europe for the Wii, and then following up on this, two huge releases. 2017, this week, Super Mario Odyssey came out for the Nintendo Switch. I've seen a lot of people jumping back into that one for the third anniversary of the game, but also last year, 2019, Luigi's Mansion 3 released worldwide for the Nintendo Switch this week as well. In fact, last year, it came out on like the 30th, right? Or
Yeah,
it came
it was
out on
right
Halloween.
before
It was
Halloween.
31st. It was Halloween.
Yeah, it
31st,
was because it was a Friday.
Yeah.
Halloween was on a Friday last
And
year.
I just want to remind people as it relates to Super Mario Odyssey, just for those of you that are maybe new to the show and haven't been here, that it is the only game in Nintendo Dad's history that has been provided an 11 out of 10 score. And I swear I will stand by that score until I leave the show. And even then, I will
Okay.
somehow make some kind of legal law and registry that cannot be changed.
While we're in this neighborhood, I want to throw this out here. Did you guys see the post that was made on Reddit this week about the theory that in Mario Odyssey, Mario is dead?
I heard about
He is
this.
transitioning
that.
back from the afterlife.
I only read the headline and then I was like, I don't think I can. It's been a rough week. I can't handle this.
No,
Also,
you need to read it because it's really good. Like at the end, I was like, I'm convinced this is what the original concept of Mario Odyssey was: is he was dead and he's transitioning back to life. Like he's coming back to life in the Mushroom Kingdom. That's his final destination.
interesting.
I now I've got to go play the game again.
And the
It
funny part
explains a lot
about
of the.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the website that we use as a source for this segment actually has for 2020 and in past tense on October 30th, Pikmin 3 was released. I'm like, it hasn't
That's
happened
true.
yet, so don't have that in past tense.
It happens today. If you're listening to this audio
Yep.
tomorrow,
In an hour and a half from now.
yeah, checking us out on YouTube. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm in on Pikmin. I played the demo, and now I'm on it.
Well, oh my, we're gonna talk about this later because you've been so anti Pikmin for since we've talked about
I
it.
did, but Justin, when I played Pikmin 3 on the Wii U back in the day, I don't know that I was in like the right mind space for Pikmin.
All right.
I know.
I'm just saying.
And
You
I played it right
flippy
here
floppy on
in
me.
my office. I flippy floppy a lot,
You do flippy floppy a lot.
and it's okay.
You need better
Okay.
shoes.
We're gonna have a
Okay.
conversation about your flippy floppy days.
Well, no, we're not. What we are going to have a conversation about, though, is this Nintendo Mini Direct that launched a couple of days ago this week. And it very quickly, from the very beginning, said this is the last one of 2020. Now, I find that interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, we've been getting about one of these a month, if you remember, since August.
July.
Or July. So July, August, September, October, we've had 4 of them. The other thing I think is interesting is that it said this is the last one of 2020, not the last one. I think that we could probably expect to see these resume in January.
Yep.
Toward the end of the month. I
Makes
also
sense.
would like
Well-
to say that in January 2020, Justin, I think they're going to release Apex Legends.
2021.
Don't you start with me. Don't you do this to me, Marty. I can't deal with it today. It's
Well,
too much. It's
so-
January
too
2021? Is that
Yeah,
what you
January 2021. That's what I meant. I think it's going to happen. I think they just needed a couple of months to tweak it and get it right. Right? It's kind of like
You're just gonna hurt me some more.
I played a demo earlier today of Cake Bash.
Oh yeah.
I really liked that game. I really thought it was fun. And then I started looking. I was like, man, this would be a great game to play on at Extra Life, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. This would be a great game to play with the guys at Extra Life or play with our community. And then I found out it's out on every system except Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it's delayed till December. It's ironic, but the Cake Bash game needs to spend more time in the oven.
Oh.
See what I did there? Because it was a baking game and it was cake.
Yeah.
We
So I
didn't
said it was
need
in
that.
the oven.
Let's see what you did there. Let's talk about the Nintendo Partner Direct, though, because Cake Bash was not announced.
I do want to say something though about this really quickly because you were leaning on this idea of like, hey, it was the last one. I think they've done a great job with these partner directs. I think they've actually been really great for tempering expectations. right? That doesn't have the big hype cycle. We usually don't get leaks about this. They're very quick. The announcement is, and like this is a great example. It was and it's out right now. They have had like 12-hour lead-ins, but very short lead-ins. I thought it was great. They set expectations properly. Nintendo has learned how to manage the hype cycle, but what they also do really well, which is kind of when you create normality, is so for example, if it's on Tuesday or Thursday, there's going to be a lot of out todays. Every one of these has typically an out today. There's typically at least a big banger. Do you know what I mean? They'll start off with something really good, and they'll usually end with something really good. And I go back to, if I go back to September, that was, it was Ori, right? It was Ori and the Will o' the Wisps that nobody knew was coming at all, came out of nowhere and was out today. Hades, right? All these examples. They've done a great job. Now, what I'm going to say here is this: I don't believe that this means that Nintendo will not be communicating anymore in 2020. It just means they're not going to do any partner showcases. If you also think about it, they're kind of shifting gears into like November and December are kind of already set, right? I do suspect we are going to hear from them in December, obviously around Game Awards. We're going to get some kind of pop there, right? Whether it's a Bayonetta 3, Breath of the Wild, maybe a Smash character. We're going to get a pop there. I wouldn't be shocked if we get a Nindies World Direct somewhere in November or December, possibly. But I'm not really betting on it. But I think they're really smart to be like, this is the last one. Again, that's clear expectations. No more for the rest of the year. Don't nag us about it. Moving on. I thought they did a great job, and I thought this was a very, very interesting Nintendo Direct, which we're going to talk about. Marty, go ahead.
Yeah, so what I thought we would do here, instead of just wasting our time breaking down every announcement that people have probably already seen, is to talk about what we think are the wins and the misses, maybe the hits and the misses of this. And so I want you guys to be thinking about, like, what in this Direct really hit for you, like knocked it out of the park or made you excited, and what was a whiff, what was a miss. And I'll just go ahead and start with mine. I think that the announcement and subsequent drop of No More Heroes and No More Heroes 2 was a huge hit. It was. These are games that people have been asking to be ported for a long time, ever since No More Heroes 3 has been announced. And even though we don't have any real concrete data about it other than it's coming in 2021, these are two games that I've heard so much about that I've been waiting to sink my teeth into, because I'm not going to go, like, I have a Wii U, but it's here at my office. I'm not going to go track the disc down and try to play it with motion controls. I love that they updated it and made it playable just with a controller. It is definitely, let me say this, moms and dads who are listening, this is not a game to play with Junior. All right, this is not a game to play with your kids. Like, I downloaded it, I played through the first mission, and did a video of it on our YouTube, and repeatedly through that I was like, yep, not kid friendly. Yep, not kid friendly. I told my son that night, I was like, you are not allowed to play this game at all. And he's like, but Dad, I played Doom, and I was like, but you're not allowed to play this.
Not the same.
You're not allowed to play this.
Yeah.
I thought that was a huge hit. On the other hand, I thought starting this thing out with Bravely Boring 2 was the worst thing. Like, ramp up, like Nintendo has this thing that they do where they start really strong and then they get boring in the middle, and then the end comes back and grabs you. This time they just started with the boring. This was Xenoblade. Hey, I'm a dragon and you live on my back. Let me talk about it for 30 minutes over and over again. I don't care about this game. I played the demo before anybody could say anything. Ugh, I don't care. If February 26th, 2021 is when it comes out, I hope all of you who want it are like, I hope you just lock yourselves away in a room and have the best day of your life. And I know I'm the one on this show who's always like, I wish we do more turn-based RPGs. Yes, but not with this Bravely, the default system. I don't like it. Just let me push a button and attack. It doesn't have to have all the extra layers. Just let me have a good game.
And I know there are people in our community who are foaming at this. I don't remember who it was. I want to think it was John. I could be very wrong, so correct me if I'm
so.
wrong. But I remember like when it was announced, because Bravely Default was announced at the Game Awards last year as a trailer. I remember like getting like a DM from him almost instantly. He's like, I am for this. This is me. And he's like, if you get a review code, please, 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 I will do anything for this. So I know, and it could be John, it could be someone else, but I remember getting that message from our community. People were like so hyped. So the fact that this is coming out, the other really great part about it that I liked was the fact that they said they'd listen to the community feedback, right? They talked about that survey information. I did feel like they kind of like spent a lot more time in this than they probably needed to, but they spent a lot of time talking about the community feedback, how they're applying it, and it was coming out in March. This is also very interesting just from my perspective. This is actually putting I apologize, you're correct, February. This is putting it in the same space or approximation as Mario 3D World. Am I wrong, right? Because Mario 3D World is the 13th?
The 13th.
I can't remember. 13th. Like, it's just a very interesting
3D
space.
World is the 12th.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have maybe tried to give it a little bit more space there.
2 weeks difference between the two.
Yeah, so maybe it's fine. Sure, look at.
Well, it makes sense because this is a new game as opposed to a port, and plus it's two different types of games. So somebody could start playing 3D World and put it down and start getting Bravely Default 2, and then could come back to, if they need a break from the long RPG game, come back and play their 3D World. I could see that.
Look, I think it's just more an intent. I think it's interesting because these are stacking a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And then we think of into March when we know that we have Monster Hunter Rise in there. Right.
Yes.
And we don't know what Nintendo's got in that pocket either. Do you know what I mean? So they seem to be doing this big push about the, I think as someone said, what is Nintendo like stopping selling video games effective March 31st? Right. There's this kind of really big push. So it's interesting to see them to begin to stack or to show their cards for the first quarter of 2021. Again, I don't think we're going to get much more seeing into that at this point. As we cross into 2021 Q1, we'll start to see Q2 plans. But I think it's interesting to see what's stackable, at least right now.
Well, and I'm just, as you're saying that, there are no set dates past March 31st.
Correct.
2021.
It's because Nintendo will no longer sell anything at all. They're closing shop, turning the sign around.
They're just doing the oxygen sensor from now on.
Yeah, taking their ball and going home is exactly what's going to happen.
So Justin, let's go to you. What's the hit and miss of this partner direct?
The absolute hit.
I know where you're going.
The 110%. The thing that after it happened, I think I was shaking in my chair, was Control cloud version and Nintendo getting into cloud gaming space and to come out of the gates with a banger that is Control. Not only from I haven't played Control, I just assumed I would never play Control because I don't have another console, but to say, here's the game we're going to play. It's available now. Go. And by the way, like, so there's that part of it is like, man, I'm just excited to play Control. And I'll talk about what we've been playing because I've been playing it there. What does this mean for the new Switch? What does this mean for their strategy going forward? Is this a larger strategy? Is this like, because this is now dabbling into like Stadia, Luna space, a little bit of Game Pass. There's a lot of things. This to me, I think, is the biggest move that Nintendo has made in a long time. Or I'm going to say potentially, because we don't know, this could have just floundered and doesn't go anywhere, and we never hear of it again, and it was a one-time test. But we had seen these tests and heard of these over in Japan with Assassin's Creed. We had seen it with Resident Evil, Biohazard. There's rumor right now of Resident Evil 3 coming out relatively soon. And here's the thing. This is why it gets me hyped. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Business Justin talking. So buckle in, get ready. This has opened a door that we haven't seen open for Nintendo before. Nintendo can still stay relevant in next-gen console conversations. Because I made the joke of it last night. How many developers you willing to bet you sent Nintendo an email this morning like, hey, I heard you're getting into cloud gaming. We should chat, right? Because you know what you could do? Do me a favor. Go over to Stadia's website. Oh, don't worry. I've already got it pulled up. Look at any kind of game that has gone over to Stadia that is a cloud-based game. This is potentially now available to a Nintendo Switch audience. That is huge door opener. I'm scrolling through here. Marvel's Avengers. Could you imagine Marvel's Avengers coming to the Nintendo Switch? That would be ridiculous. How about Doom Eternal? It's a cloud-based game on Stadia. How about Assassin's Creed? How about what was the game? Cyberpunk, Destiny 2. This now opens up Nintendo's strategy, right? And for a person who was looking at something like Luna, because I was like, well, listen, I don't want to pay $400 so I can get Game Pass to play some games. Maybe I'll pick up a Luna. Maybe I'll pick up Stadia because I want to enjoy those experiences. There are so many great games that I haven't had access to because I'm a Nintendo guy. This has blown that door wide open. I do not believe is outside the realm of possibility that you could see in the next 4 to 5 months, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Cyberpunk to Nintendo Switch. That is a game changer potentially for Nintendo. This is their third pillar now. This is their third pillar
here that there's already a cloud version of Resident Evil 7 that is available for Switch in Japan. That I found it odd that they didn't lead with that, especially with it being October. And I know it's up to what the developers will offer, but they've already proven that plays and it works in Japan. Why not test the waters with something that's already out there?
So I could see that point. I believe they did absolutely what was right. You get the 2019 critically acclaimed Game of the Year.
Oh yeah.
That is still completely relevant in our minds because it's not so far outside of that conversation, and you bring that to the table and say this is what we can do. And it's also a game that struggled on the other platforms. Now, I'm playing it and I don't see some struggle. Now, I'm also not like, oh well, guys, the frame rate dropped by a couple of I'm not that kind of person. I'm playing it, I'm having fun, and I'm experiencing something that I could not have thought I would have been able to experience before.
So,
and we also don't know what's running on the back end. It's probably something 3 times stronger than any console, which is fine.
Correct.
Well, let me speak
so
to
it
that
works well
because
on our
I want to counterpoint Justin's excitement here. I can't even play the game.
Well, you live in sucky internet areas.
Well, I do, but the thing is that there are a lot of people who live there, and the issue with that is that even when the game told me, your internet's not good enough, we don't have a stable connection, we're gonna use the low grade mode, right? It wouldn't even play that.
Yeah.
So
here's
for me, here's the thing: am I excited that Nintendo is getting these games? Absolutely. As someone who's advocated for Rocket League, Fortnite, Apex Legends to come to the Switch because of the buzz that they bring around them to Nintendo, I think this is a great move. The problem is when you see the beginnings for a lot of people of your hobby beginning to leave you behind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's not it's not as easy. I'm sure there's some people out there who are like me, well, why don't you move? Well, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as why don't you just uproot everything about your life and refigure your finances and go across town and then explain to your wife, hey, we're doing all this and we're uprooting everything so I can play a cloud-based game on Nintendo Switch.
Well, and so here's the thing: is I 100% agree with that, Marty, and I 100% agree it does not fit for everyone, and that's the argument of Stadia or Luna to start off with. Right? That's the argument of anytime you need any kind of internet connection. It may not work for you all the time. I think for me, the thing that makes me the most excited about it is the possibility of what it can do. The possibility, and I believe God bless Luna and Stadia for standing out there and getting the snot kicked out of them. Because someone has to do that to pave the way for 5 years from now when cloud-based gaming is it's just a thing and it works perfectly. Someone has to be in that test market. But I'm excited from a business perspective and from a opportunity perspective to what this could mean for a Nintendo player. Now, I will agree if they can instead port or build the game natively, right, where you can get a cartridge, a download code, that's the better solution. But we definitely know that there are games that are outside that possibility in that realm that don't work. But from a strategic like just from a business strategy perspective, that this closes that gap, right? This closes that gap, and it's interesting to think of, like, does this mean that like is this Nintendo's idea of pivoting into a Nintendo cloud system? Could this be the precursor to a Nintendo Game Pass, essentially? Right? We know that I think it's Ubisoft or Ubi Play has this kind of like, or EA Play Access has this new cloud-based service. There's like a lot of the players are getting this space, but for Nintendo now to be playing there, I think it's really, really fascinating. Hitman 3, right, which was shown as well, is not even out. Are we going to see Hitman 3 drop day and date with the other consoles as a cloud game?
I think you do at this point, because they're able to do it.
That's fascinating.
Here's my worry, again, to add to what I'm saying is that if this is successful, and now all these third-party games are coming to the Switch, and they're doing it cloud-based, what that means is that the only thing I will be able to play on my Switch is Nintendo first-party games and indies.
Yeah, and
so like, here's the thing: Business Marty says, "Yay, Nintendo!" and "Yay, everybody that can do this!" Like, I love it. Yeah. But then there's the part of me that says, it's the whole thing of being picked last in dodgeball. You know, that it's that same feeling almost, because it's like, I want to be able to do it, but I can't. Yeah. Or I could if I would sit here in my office. But honestly, like, it already sucks enough that I can't do like normal. Like the other day, I was trying to upload a photo to Justin. It took me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
To do that. Like, where for everybody else, it's like boom, and it's there.
Yeah.
So it already sucks enough that happens. But then you you start to chip away at the things I enjoy to do, and you know, I know the argument could be made too is like, well, that's all really anybody needs to do is play first party games on Nintendo consoles. Just buy another console. Okay, give me some money.
Welcome to 2006 mentality.
There's a few factors, I think, though, that we have to keep in mind. That I understand your point, Marty, about, you know, being in the hobby and then seeing the future, and that you won't be able to play in that hobby as much. But at the same time, we have to think that technology will hopefully catch up at the time that this really starts taking off. Like Justin said earlier, like 5 years down the line, what's that mean for Nintendo? Where hopefully 5 years down the line, you will have better internet because of 5G being fully rolled out and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And supposed to be blanketing the country and all that kind of stuff and give us better internet. So we have to keep that in mind, as well as the fact that people are going to sell their games where companies are going to sell their games where the people are. So they're going to do it not only here for streaming, but they're also going to, when possible, do it physically, because there are other people like you or the collectors or people who just want everything will buy the game but also play streaming. There's still going to be money to be made, so they still have those opportunities. And then in those cases, that's where I think, again, where the cloud gaming part comes into play is it's an option. And that's what we see a lot of companies giving their customers is options. So where, Marty, you can't do that streaming wise, you do have the flexibility that Justin doesn't, where you have a second console where you can play on that second console. Yeah. And you can have that physical version there.
I think it's fascinating to say, you know, if you look at the Switch, you can almost go, the Switch is a home console, like it's a home console. It's an on-the-go console, and now it's a cloud gaming console. That is interesting. That is a very different mentality. And I'm sorry, Jesse, you go ahead. You had probably a great comment.
Yeah. So Tim's point about, you know, games sell where the people are kind of leads into my thoughts here, which, you know, we kind of ragged on Stadia because it seems like a product that doesn't have a point. Because I looked up an article from back in March, and it estimated that in 2 months it sold just over 100,000 units, which is not good, not healthy. So the probability of the majority of those people already having another gaming system is, I'd say, pretty high. So what's the incentive on playing on Stadia when you can already play it on something else? Where Switch has, you know, my estimation, an 80 million install base at this point. We're hoping for quarterly numbers to verify that prediction, hopefully next week. But, so this is the definition of sell it where the people are.
Yep.
The game can't run on Switch natively, so stream it. It's still available.
I 100% agree. And so, I mean, that's why this is like, and I'm looking at, and I don't mean to be ragging on Stadia, right? I was just about going to pull the trigger a while ago and thought about like just giving the system a try. But like, if you look at Stadia's platform and you look, and to your point, Jesse, you look at any of these folks who are like, there was time and energy spent in moving, I don't know, Tom Clancy's The Division 2 over to being a streaming game. And the install base isn't picking up. They're not making the sales. And Nintendo all of a sudden over here, who has an 80 million install base, is now opening their door to cloud service. Every single one of these developers who put the time and energy in there is going to go, you know what? We can probably get that, adjusted and reconfigured to be Switch capable, like whatever that means for their, button reconfigs, or he maybe has to.
And most engines are probably that's in a config file. So it's
exactly.
Switch, do a switch, recompile, it's ready.
We can be ready to have it over there. Boss, are you cool with this? Do you know what I mean? And anyone's gonna be like, do I want to make more money? No, yeah, of course I'm going to, right? And so I don't mean
Have you
to
met
be
game companies lately?
Yeah, and I don't mean to be pipe dreaming all this and like blowing smoke, but I legitimately like my mind, like Star Wars Fallen Jedi, right? Like that could be an actual reality where before I was like, Tim, you're smoking. You're crazy, my man.
Right.
And you look at a game, okay, so hold on a second. Assassin's Creed, they tested over in Japan. It worked, right? So we know that the Ubisoft has already done that testing with them. Ubisoft has built a more relationship with Nintendo. We've seen that. Why would we not potentially see Valhalla come over to the Nintendo Switch? This could be a game. I mean, this could be Game Award announcements. Ladies and gentlemen,
biggest difference
today,
is scale.
Valhalla of Nintendo Switch Cloud. Get out today. Cyberpunk, Cloud. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, the biggest difference is scale. They probably likely have in Japan 2 geodiverse sites. So with server farms big enough to support the country, we would probably need 3 or 4 times as many sites with 3 or 4 times as much capacity each.
I do want to try and figure out whose servers they're running on, and I loaded in Control today, and it actually it showed like a logo before it jumped into it, and I was like, that's gonna be the service. I have to look into it. I think this is fascinating, and actually I want to say here, RJ Kern in the YouTube chat says, what about the whole argument about owning the game? It's one thing to buy digital, but now that you're just leasing time in somebody's cloud to play a game that you may not get to play and wait in line. Now, so the wait in line thing, I understand what you're saying. There was some queuing. I don't think they expected their servers to get hit as hard as they did.
Again, that goes to the capacity I was talking about.
Yeah, there was some queuing. I will tell you this. When I jumped into the game yesterday for the Let's Play, I did not queue at all. I chose enhanced performance as opposed to enhanced graphics. So there may have been a different queue for different areas. I don't know for sure. I jumped in today again to play. There was no queue. Yep. Like, it was buttery smooth. I had no issues, no lag,
either.
No problems.
I did the graphical one and I didn't have a queue.
Yeah. So the other question about what about leasing? Great question, RJ, but I would make the argument of I've been leasing things forever. I've been leasing my Apple Music collection. I've been leasing my video collection through Netflix. This is just another level to it. Now, would I prefer physical? Absolutely. But I do think
it also depends on how you play and stuff like that. Do you return back to your games, and that's why you would like a copy of it?
And I don't. I'm like, that experience is for me, games are an experience. Did I get the value of that experience? $60 worth. Did I have fun? Did the story tell me? Blah, blah, blah. If I did, I'm good. Moving on. Right? I'm not going to be like, man, I really wish I was playing Control and it's 2026. Like,
Justin, while you're mentioning that, I'll read, even though it's later on, but since it's about this topic, Nick mentioned this in our Discord or in our Patreon. He says, I know there's been a good bit of hate for the cloud services this week. I understand how it sucks for Marty and others who don't have access to decent internet, and was shocked that my 30 megabytes per second Wi-Fi held up. Mm-hmm. I just want to say that I love that Nintendo is trying to find a way to gap the power divide. Mm-hmm. If they would announce games like Valhalla, Squadrons, Jedi Knight, I would just sell my Xbox Series S pre-order.
Yeah,
you get that. And he did want to ask what other games would you guys like to see, which you've already mentioned. So
Yeah, I think there's I mean, someone was mentioning. Actually, I reached out to Per Schneider. You may have heard of him from IGN.
That
Red
small
Dead,
podcast show they do.
small up and comer, real up and comer show. Good luck for them.
Go give them a listen.
Yeah, go listen. Yeah, go check out their website. They might need a hit or two. Red Dead Redemption 2, Jedi Fallen Order, and he mentioned something else, and I can't remember what it was, and I feel like an idiot. I should have pulled it up. But those are just some great examples. Again, I've mentioned Valhalla. I've mentioned Cyberpunk. This, in theory, could open up the doors to the Call of Duty franchises. Not saying I necessarily want them, but I think that could be a market that obviously could do a pretty good install base. Maybe that's how Doom Eternal is coming over. Like, I don't like, again, fingers crossed that Sammy's right that we're getting it tomorrow. Probably not, though.
No, we missed out on it.
God bless him for trying. But I just think the power gap is absolutely critical. That changes that conversation. You go into stadiums, Avengers, Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
Right? Destiny. Like,
My
like
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah,
Definitely.
like I would
Or
all
even
be on
any
that.
of the other EA games
Yes.
I wanted, like Madden.
It fundamentally changes the door for Nintendo and what could be now available to a Nintendo exclusive gamer like I am. Right? I don't have another console. I'm not paying for another console. This changes the game.
Yeah. Yep.
This is absolutely critical. I'm sorry. This has been like me ranting and
No,
ranting
this
about
is-
it,
this
but
is
like
fine.
this is massive.
So we were going to talk about this anyway with the cloud gaming. I think that's probably, besides the out today announcements, was the biggest announcement coming out of this partner direct.
Yeah.
Because no one saw it coming. There was no hints that this was happening. Cloud service was just something that was being used in Japan, and all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, it's here. And on two huge games.
Right.
So, I mean, it's important that we talk about it. It's just, y'all, like, just living where I do sucks.
No.
I mean, I love where I live, but the situation sucks.
For your hobby, it sucks.
I
definitely.
do want to say one other thing though, and just so you don't think I'm just like fanboying all over Nintendo, I do think there was a critical mistake in this. They only provided players a 5-minute, now it was about 5 to 10 minute window to actually demo the game, to try it out before you actually made that decision to pull the trigger on that. And that didn't really feel necessarily right. I would have preferred a 35, 40 minute, an appropriate amount, because with Control specifically, yes, you get some really good cutscenes, you get some good VO, you can kind of hear those things. You get a chance to really kind of run around a little bit, but that's essentially it.
Is that Nintendo's choice, or is that the developer's choice?
Well, here's the thing: is that for Hitman, if you look in the press release, it also says the exact same thing. You have 5 minutes before you. And what happens is a prompt comes up on the screen. And for those of you that watch my Let's Play, available on YouTube, Nintendo Dads, it is there where it actually prompts up and says press like plus or minus to go to the eShop to purchase it. So I just felt like you could have given us a little bit more time there, especially if you're trying to get us hooked. I mean, when not to be crazy, but the moment they announced Control, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy it. Like for the sake of this podcast, for trying it out, for being an advocate, for being a fan, for wanting to go at it, like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Right? I'd already made that decision, but I think as someone who's on the fence, that needed to be much longer.
It does need to be longer, yes.
And especially when it could be like, oh, I'm having a slight glitch because the kids jumped on, Netflix and are pulling that. Like, it needs to be a bit longer than that. I'm hoping they change that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was your miss for the whole thing?
Yeah, and there were some other games in there that I also thought just looked a little bit like, ooh, that needed longer in the oven.
Tropico 6.
Yeah, Tropico
was
6.
Visibly stuttering in the actual footage.
Yeah, Tropico 6.
It wasn't a good look.
No. I thought the rest of it was fine.
Tim, what about you? Hits and misses.
Well, the hit that I'm surprised that none of you have mentioned yet is part-time UFO. Now, come on.
From HAL Laboratories.
Yes. No. No, but seriously, that game actually I played on mobile before, and it was pretty fun. So it was kind of cool to see that come over. I was actually wondering when that would happen. So when it did get announced, it was cool to see. But my hit was the cloud streaming game, especially for, we've seen it come over to Japan, and to see it just out of nowhere, because like you guys alluded to, there's no leaks on this stuff, so it's like all of a sudden it's just like we're gonna play Control through the cloud. I mean, yeah, your brain starts going, well, what about this? What about that? And how am I gonna play it? How well is it gonna play? And you get the 5 minutes, and like Justin said, it's not enough, but still it's exciting to see that it's starting, and we're going somewhere with it, and to think positively in the future, that's where the excitement is, too. But there's still, your brain starts thinking about all kinds of things too, going, okay, being able to lease it for $40, is that good, or and then you're one and done type of thing, or you can always, or if they close it down if you haven't beat it yet, all those kind of things. You don't own it essentially. But anyways, that's what I was excited about. And the miss for me would have been, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, because I mean, I do kind of look at it like I'm excited about everything that's announced because I know somebody's going to enjoy it. So it's like, okay, I might not get that, but somebody in my family might get it, or somebody in our community might really like it. And I mean, there's all kinds of hits in here, really, to be honest, for me too. So I'm really excited about the Immortals Phoenix Rising, and
Yeah, look good.
because it gives me the God of War vibes, type of thing, but more friendly, family friendly version of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like God of War meets Breath of the Wild meets Kid Icarus all rolled into one.
Yeah. So
it looks really good.
It does. It looks really cool, and I'm excited. I can't wait for that.
Having not seen anything about it so far, like I have purposely just not really.
Oh, really?
Looked at anything. I was blown away by that. I thought it. And was this the first time that the release date was given?
Nope.
No, we knew the release date a few months ago.
I will probably be picking that one up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited to. It's on my list of. I'll probably make up my mind when we get closer to picking it up, either digitally or physically.
My notes say September 10th. We knew the date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, I've already pre-ordered that one actually.
Cool.
Physically.
Cool.
I think it's great. Yeah.
And then of course the No More Heroes I'm really excited about. Those are in my I didn't download it yet, but I'm gonna wait and play some other things and get those things done off my plate before I get those.
Don't download it till we talk.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Just don't jump the gun on that one. I might have stuff for you next week.
Okay. All right.
Jesse,
then,
what about? Oh, I'm sorry, Tim.
Again, the miss is probably that it's. I'll say this: the miss is that this is the last one of the year.
That's fair. That's fair. Jesse, what about you? Hits and misses.
So no one thought Bakugan was a hit? And I'm not surprised this is the last one, because they kind of don't want to do announcements when they want people to be spending money. Because if there are rumors of announcements, then people will hold back and wait and see what's coming. So I'm not surprised at all that they stated this is the last one. So people do your holiday shopping and then come back in January. Of the games listed here, I think they're all passes for me. I'm not interested in any of them.
I love Jesse. Okay.
Though there's apparently, Marty, you said you still want turn-based games. There's a game I'll be playing this weekend and talking about next week that may satisfy that.
Okay. Good deal. I love it when Jesse comes on and it's like we're all over here like rejoicing over games, and he just pours the sauce on. I don't care for any of it.
You know what they didn't have? They didn't have a Picross game. Screw you.
Picross game comes out tomorrow, oddly enough, and I'll be talking about
Really?
that too. And
Oh my god.
I put in the Discord, I'm like, these Picross genre crossovers are getting weird.
Let me tell you where the next one goes. You ready for this? You've heard of Pikmin. What about Picross? Pikmin.
Yeah.
But,
It's
but
happening.
apparently
I can see that
this
happening.
this one's a
I can see that
crossover with a dating sim.
Okay, yeah. Moving on. We didn't talk about this at all. I can't believe no one said this. The huge win coming out of this, and I think this will be a great time to talk about this. The Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demo was dropped at the end of this partner direct. By the way, just wanted to throw this out here. At the end of this, we got footage of Hyrule Warriors and what was the other one right before that? It was
Part-time UFO.
Part-time UFO, and then No More Heroes before that.
Was it No More Heroes that was right before?
Yeah.
The last two was Part-time UFO and Hyrule Warriors.
No.
Right before that was No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
notes
right
are in
before
order.
Yeah, I was like, your man's right.
Here was my thing. This is a partner direct, but Hyrule Warriors and No More Heroes are both being released by Nintendo. So
But they're developed by not Nintendo.
I understand they're developed by other people, but if you're releasing the game, it's not really a partner, is it?
They partnered with
Yes.
them to publish it.
Okay, whatever. I just thought it was weird to include those because, like every time we've done one of these, people will be like, they're going to show the new F-Zero. They're going to show the new Kid Icarus. They're going to show the new Smash character. And then at the end of this, they're like, you know what? We're just going to drop news about our own games. Boom. But anyway,
slide it in there.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demo is out, and it's freaking awesome. It's everything like, oh my gosh. The demo ended way too soon. Like, I want this game today. I want it right now. I don't know. The 20-day wait for this game is going to be really hard. So I think every one of us has played this demo, correct? I want to know your thoughts because, like, I loved it. Like, I found myself at the end of the demo going, what? I can't, like, there's stuff to do on the map and you won't let me do it? What the crap? What's going on? Somebody jump in here. What'd you think?
Yeah, so I played about half an hour of it on our Let's Play. You can check that out on our YouTube channel as well. I have never played a Dynasty Warriors game before. So I'm going to be honest, I felt very button smashy. I didn't feel like I had the level of control that I think I would typically want, or maybe I feel that aligns with the franchise that is Zelda, the way that I've played Zelda before.
I had the same issue. The game says you can do these 15 things, of which I try to do half of them, and maybe a quarter of them actually do what I think they're going to do.
Yeah.
The other quarter I'll trigger by accident doing something else.
Mm-hmm. So I had fun doing it. The love and care that is the Breath of the Wild world, like, and I said this in my thing, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for that story. I'm here for that prequel. I'm here for that information. But the scene, the tapestry, and everything else around it, is the detail of it and the care is just so well done that I think is absolutely fantastic. I did find it. Maybe stutter is the right word, but it did feel like it was challenging the system a little bit. And I know that some people mentioned that as well on Twitter. I'm hoping that maybe that gets patched out or fixed up as well.
Yeah, having 50 or 60 models at the same time will do that.
Yeah, exactly, right. So I did kind of feel that.
And
that is something that has been Dynasty Warriors series wide. It has always had problems on every system with every release.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think Dragon Quest when I played on PS4, I'm sure had framey times as well.
Yeah. The other part of it that I'd say as well is and just is just kind of a bigger step into the Nintendo's way of doing this. And maybe this is what they're aiming to do, or maybe it just happens to be that this is just two that they've back-to-backed and looked this well. But these ideas of, here's a demo, you can give it a really good try. We're giving you actually a fair bit of room to play in here. It's not like 5 minutes. You can play full levels. And by the way, that information is transferred over to the full game. And by the way, so for Pikmin 3, for example, you unlock saucy mode or hot mode or whatever it is.
Ultra spicy.
Yeah, ultra spicy. So there's this. So I really love this idea of kind of like doing a little bit of work now, getting some work into it. This like teaser, and then it passing over. I thought that was really cool. I don't think there's like a spicy mode that goes into to Age of Calamity, but I love the fact that basically when you pick it up, you've already finished chapter 1. Right? I think that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
How many?
That's like.
How many battles
sorry,
are in the
go ahead.
chapter?
There's 2 full stages.
Two battles in the chapter
bat-
1.
Yeah, the initial battle of Hyrule Field, and then there's a
Road to the Ancient Lab.
yeah, and it's
Okay.
like something the Gate of Demise or something like that, where
Yeah.
there's a guardian.
Yep.
And then there are smaller challenge battles.
Yes.
Okay, so I've done. Okay, I've done the two big ones. I put it in sleep mode in the middle of that following cutscene at the lab. So I haven't seen anything after that yet.
One thing I want to
So it sounds
say
like I'm
here,
almost done with the demo. Then.
you are. Like I've got like one thing on the map I can't unlock, and I think if I dive back in and play through a level again, I'll unlock the items that I need to unlock or complete that quest. I thought that I'm like Justin. The whole tapestry of it is so cool. Like the characters that they created in this world are so great. And then even like introducing new characters like Impa, it feels immediately at home. But the voice acting and just fleshing out these characters in this demo alone has made me so hungry for the rest of it, because we got a little bit of voice acting in the original Breath of the Wild, but like this seems like full blown. Like I'm excited to see that story come to life that way.
I wonder if they pulled in the voice actors to do this, obviously, and then they're like, oh, well, you're here. We're going to have you do the Breath of the Wild VO. Breath of the Wild 2 VO, right? Or didn't even tell them that it was 2 separate games and just said we're doing Lost Capture.
Sure. I don't know that they're doing Breath of the Wild VO right now.
Breath of the Wild 2 VO? For sure they are.
Yeah, I don't.
No, you
really
do the
think they
VO
are?
first
Really
before you
that
animate.
close?
Yeah, you do the VO first. The voiceover work would have been done a while ago.
For Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, you think they're that close?
Yep.
Okay.
No, there was something else I wanted to say, but now I forgot.
I'm thinking it's late 2021, maybe early 2022.
If you think you're just going to come in here and just like continue to bust my dreams up, I'm going to come over there and slap you.
Well,
I'll get on my 5G internet and fly over there, but I'll just like putter out right before I get to your house.
Yep. You'll never make it, because if you're coming to my house on the internet, you're never finding me.
There you go.
Multiple people asked if Amiibo are supported in the game. Not that I know of. At least there's been no indication in the demo that it's Amiibo supported, and I've heard no news.
In the demo, no, but I believe the game is. So I'll actually.
The game is for sure. Yes.
Yeah,
the game is for sure.
Press release right now.
They had mentioned using the Amiibos before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen anything in the game.
And they did a fresh run of new Amiibos too.
Right.
True.
And I'm
well, yeah. I mean, they're re-releasing those Guardians Amiibos or Champion Amiibo. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be something. It's
Yes.
not just going to be like a trophy for the game.
correct.
Yeah.
What I'm going to guess is that it's, if you remember, the Breath of the Wild integration was tap this Amiibo and a chest falls out of the sky or something like that. It's going to be that kind of thing. Or maybe you can call on their powers or something when you're another character. Who knows?
So when I was playing it, I actually wasn't digging it. Part of it is, the controls seem to be, I couldn't get a grasp on the controls, and part of that's on me. Playing all the Batman games, Arkham Knight, Arkham City, I never could pull off half those combos. So that's just me being crap at games. But it's just playing it. I'm just thinking, I don't think I'm having fun, and actually put me back on the fence from being on the other side of it, to the point of now I'm thinking about, do I want to cancel my pre-order or not?
That's fair.
I don't know yet. Well, I'll still think about it. So I remember what else I was going to say. I think the graphics, even the cutscenes are done in engine, so it doesn't matter if it's in gameplay or cutscene, but it looks a lot better than what I remember the original game 3 years ago being. So I don't know. Maybe this game is 4K ready? I don't know, but at least if it's running at 1080p, it looks a lot better than Breath of the Wild did at 720.
That's a good point. Do you think I wonder, probably not. I think it was a little bit of like spinning off of Adam in our chat, his question about Breath of the Wild 2. I wonder if there's like, I would almost love if they pulled a Marvel here and like you finish the game and then there's an end credit scene that somehow links to like Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Oh, well, even like remember the original Banjo-Kazooie hinted at a sequel. So not something new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that whoever's playing the music in the background, by the way. That's a nice touch.
It's right here.
Thanks for I thought it was Justin playing the game actually as we
All right. Well, I'm not hearing anything, so
it's on my map right now.
Guys, let's move on and let's go.
Oh wait, don't I get to talk about it too?
Yes, you do, Tim.
I'm so sorry, Tim. I thought you had.
Tim, you just make thumbnails here. Stop it. Your opinion doesn't matter. Get out of here, you.
I wanted to at least talk about the 2-player aspect because I was able to play 2-player with Sammy.
I did see that option, but didn't have an opportunity.
How did that go?
It actually worked out really well. He helped me beat the second battle, which I heard was really hard with the machine or whatever it's called. I forget the name of it.
Guardian?
But the Guardian. Thanks. Yeah, and it was tough with just the two of us because we were missing something. We weren't paying attention to what they kept flashing at us at the screen, like, stop fighting the Guardian, go turn on the other ones. So we just kept trying to beat it, and then it was like, wait a minute, something just said that we need to go.
When it said turn on the other ones, I thought they were like really close nearby. I didn't realize I had to run to the four corners of the map to activate them.
When we finally figured it out, that's what we did. We ran over, but that was pretty exciting too, just to see this giant Guardian chasing you across the field.
Does it split screen, or did they have to stay?
It was split screen. Yep, top bottom.
Okay, so you two can literally hit the other opposite corners and hit them at the same time.
Correct.
That would be useful.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun actually playing that, and we got excited about being able to play some more. And although Sammy got a little frustrated with it because we weren't figuring out how to beat the Guardian, we weren't realizing we had to go turn on the other ones. But once we figured it out, he had a little fun. So I'm excited to be able to play that. And what I really like about it is how easy it was to turn on 2-player in the middle of my single-player gameplay, because I had already beaten the first battle. And then you just click on the, what is it, the click down on the left joystick.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes into 2-player mode, and right in the middle of the story, or right in the middle, right on the map. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
on the map, and I could click on the 2-player. He was able to I just hand him a controller, and we started playing that second battle. We were able to finish that, and then when I got back to the map, I turned it back to single player in case I wanted to, move around and do something on my own.
That's awesome.
That I thought was really exciting, and that part I'm really excited about. So, yeah, I already had it pre-ordered, so it's not like this made me go on one side of the fence or the other. But this is my kind of gameplay. I love button mashers, button mashers, but I like the aspect of it. It is a button masher, but you do have to do certain combos. You do learn some certain button combos to do more damage. So it helps with that. You can just button mash the same, Y button, or you can do a few Ys and then hit X and you do some super move or whatever. So it's cool. I like it.
Adam says anytime Nintendo adds co-op to titles, my wife and I get excited, and then he mentions Pikmin. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with Pikmin 3.
I'll mention, piggyback off what Tim said there about the way that it plays. I really thought that they did a good job in these first 2 chapters highlighting how each character is different, and the different play style. Like if you just want to run through enemies with Link, or if you want to be a little bit more strategic.
I didn't understand Impa's abilities.
Yeah, so the whole creating, is it runes? Is that what she was creating? Like the marks?
Yeah.
those are created at random, and you have to create enough of them that she can absorb them and get all 3 symbols, and then that makes her more powerful. But see, on the flip side of that, Zelda's was more confusing to me because Zelda just attacks with the actual Sheikah Slate. She's not actually hitting anything. The Sheikah Slate's doing all the work for her, and it's creating all the different.
I didn't even try playing as her. I just stayed on Link the whole time.
You need to try her because it's really cool. It's interesting the way that they do it, but I just I love everything about this game.
It does look like you can go back into where you beat.
You can go back and play missions again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I might try different characters that way.
I'm gonna play we'll play a few more rounds because I'm like Tim. Like I like the button mashing type of games so that I could just go in and like take out frustration.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Sorry about that. Audio.
Bless you.
Yeah, sorry about that video.
Bless you.
Did not need to sneeze on. Anyway,
wipe off the camera.
Let's go from a high to a low here, Justin. Apex Legends got delayed, man. How are you? Let's check in. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm going to be really honest with you. When that news came out last Friday, I think it was.
It was just hours after we recorded last week.
I felt real empty, Marty. I felt real lonely. I was sad.
I
literally went, I don't really know what I'm excited for anymore. And then I slowly walked away, and I was like, all by myself.
You know what's funny is I pulled up Twitter and saw that tweet, and the first thing I was going to do was retweet it to you, and I was like, oh, that's our tweet.
Yeah.
And then the second reaction was I had this picture of you in my mind of just slumped over like this, and I burst into laughter, actually.
That's okay. I think the GIF I used was like Chris Farley, who's like super excited. He's like, yes, and then you just see him get deflated and sad and look shocked. So let's. I guess we can dive a little bit into it. So this last Friday that just passed, Apex Legends for the Nintendo Switch was announced as a delay, and this is off of their website. The game director Chad Grenier mentions that so just as an FYI, what they were actually doing is they were bringing it to Steam and to the Nintendo Switch, and they sounded like, from what I'm reading here and from all the research I did for Apex, that they were kind of tracking about the exact same time, and it sounded like they were really
at the same time.
They were announcing at the same time. They sound like they were expected to do a fall. There was a lot of communities that were like, yeah, they're going to do them both at November 4th. The Apex Season 7 actually got shortened by a week. The ESRB ratings board for the Nintendo Switch version had got approved. So there was a lot of things that were like the cards were aligning, right? And I had said before, I think it's going to be partner showcase. It makes complete sense. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we also saw that Apex had basically a week earlier made a big announcement of like, you can get into Apex with all these skins and all these packs and all this money for like $40. So they were really kind of doing like a welcome to the game entry. So my thought was, yep, Steam and Switch are going to come online at the exact same time. What is true is that Steam is coming online on November 4th. For season number 7, and then the paragraph afterwards is second. For those of you that are who game on the Nintendo Switch, we are still hard at work on the port, but in order to do justice to the game and make it the great experience Switch players deserve, our team needs more time. This year has brought unexpected new challenges, to put it mildly, and we don't want to rush anything out. Switch owners can expect to get their hands on Apex Legends next year, and of course, when Apex Legends does launch on the Switch, it will come with support for cross-play or cross-platform play, our latest seasonal content, and full featured parity with the other consoles. We can't wait to get Apex Legends in the hands or your TV connected dock on Switch. Thanks for understanding. So I will provide you kind of my perspectives. So as a fan, disappointed, right? Super excited, but I'm also I get it. You take time to make sure it's done right. And I think if the game comes out, I'd rather be in a good position. I'm going to put on like a business hat for a second here. I think this is really interesting because you're trying to put it on two different platforms, Steam and Switch. So you're obviously porting at two different times to do two different platforms and the kind of configurations that were there. I wonder what made them decide to maybe Steam is easier. I don't know what the challenges were for from going to the Switch. I guess my hope is that what they're going to do is redeploy the team that was working on the Steam version, right? Now that the Steam one is up and running, move them over to the Switch to assist that team to really make sure it's up and running. Because the reality of it is, and I don't necessarily have the numbers to support it, but from an install base and from a potential players, is Steam or the Switch going to have higher player rates? And also, which one is more likely to participate and buy something like a season pass or battle pass that will monetize sooner? And again, I'm only knowing from what Fortnite has done from the Nintendo Switch perspective that the Switch is probably the higher of those two. I suspect they are going to have a lot of pressure from their stakeholders and their business units to make sure this game gets on the Switch as soon as possible. Because if we remember, the reason that it's coming to the Switch from EA is because of that monetization, right? Jeff Grubbs made a great point.
And the install base.
Fortnite was killing it. Season Pass is killing it. We're seeing a lot of the free-to-play games come to the Switch because the market seems to be there and we have a huge install base. Let's get this over there as well as quickly as we can to make – and again, it boils down to companies like to make money, right? That's how this works. So they're going to want to get it on as quick as possible. The sooner they can monetize, the better off they can be.
I just wonder if free-to-play and battle passes are like the next – bubble to burst in video gaming. We had music and rhythm games.
Yep.
We had Toys to Life, and then the next part was, and then Battle Pass came along, and now everything has a Battle Pass.
I think
and then it's gone from there.
I think some will fall off the vine and some will survive. Right, I think a game like Fortnite will absolutely, like, they're the top dog in that space. I think Rocket League is doing a fairly good job of it right now. But again, you have the backing of Epic, right? Who's the framework of Fortnite, so it makes sense. I think when you move into games, I like Spellbreak. I don't know if it has that longevity to be there if they introduce a battle pass perspectives. Vigor is an example of, like, I was like, this battle pass doesn't really do anything for me. I do believe Apex is in that space as well. You also got to remember there's a lot of backing. Like they have the World Cup of Apex, right? They're EA and Respawn are really pushing that into a space very similar to where we see like the Overwatch League. Like they're really trying to do that. And that's actually interesting as well, because I almost sometimes wonder, like with Overwatch and their Overwatch 2, are we going to see them move into a battle pass perspective as well? Are we going to see different seasons as well? I don't think battle passes, and I don't think free to play will disappear. Because really, it's free to play it's. I mean, we used to say this as a kid, right? Like, you don't do drugs. The first one's free, and then I'll get you afterwards, right? But this is, I mean, that's the free to play model. That's how these things work. I don't think the battle pass thing's going away. I think the reason like Guitar Hero and Toys to Life and Amiibo in some ways disappears is because it's clutter in a living room. If it's digital clutter, I don't think it's the exact same thing. But I think what you do is you find a battle pass that you're attracted to or stay to, and that you draw to that. I suspect when Apex comes out, from what I have seen of it, from what I have watched of it, my battle passes will be Fortnite and my battle pass will be Apex. But if for those of you that have been playing this show with me for as long as I have, I've only ever once paid for battle pass for Fortnite, and I have redeemed free ones ever since then. I suspect that's how Apex is going to work for me. So again, disappointed. I suspect, and I think, Marty, you're probably right. They're going to make a real diligent push to make sure Season 8 is ready for Nintendo Switch to, again, monetize as quickly as possible.
Right. If it doesn't make Season 8,
Season 9,
then I think you're gonna see the delay go to Season 9.
Yeah, so
How long does a season in Apex last?
Not 100% sure. I did some quick research. Depends on about 2 to 3 months, kind of like Fortnite. There's not really consistency for sure about it. This season, though, for Apex, they actually did shrink it. I suspect it's about 2 months, so I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, November 4th is when their new season starts. We'll see what the closure date is going to be after that.
Well, the reason I ask that is because, Fortnite this season has actually extended their season. It was due to end next week with week 10, and now it's going to, or this week with week 10, we're entering into week 10 of the Battle Pass. And now it's going to go until November 30th.
Yeah, I thought it was always going to be November 30th, because I had done some research and checked into that for a while. Again, so I mean, that's a great example of the reason. So my theory here is the reason that is a longer Battle Pass is because the hype around Marvel in the game is like, oh, I can draw people back in. And by the way, here are the skins. It's all dollars and cents, right? If you have an event or a battle pass that is Steam based with something high, like let's say Marvel, let's think Star Wars, let's think, I don't know, Transformers, whatever, some kind of very big popular IP. People who are fringe players who may have disappeared could potentially come back to that.
Yeah.
More feeling so you're going to extend that battle pass to get them in as much as possible, to monetize as much as possible, to capitalize on that popularity. So yeah, I'm not overly shocked about it. I've reached level 101 in my battle pass now for Fortnite. Nothing really is drawing me to continue to go other than playing with some friends. But yeah, that has been Apex.
I'm actually at the same point. I was discussing this with my son today, that once I do the Tony Stark challenges, which I'm at, I'm going to take a break from Fortnite for this month, unless the rumor is there that because their powers are in the game, that Venom and Black Panther are coming as purchasable skins or winnable skins, much like Daredevil. If that happens, I'll buy the skins because I'm a huge Venom fan. Love Black Panther. I just want to have those. That'll draw me back, and I'll probably play a few matches here and there. But by and large, now that I've achieved level 100, it's kind of like, I can get gold foil versions. Whoop-de-doo.
I've made this statement before. My friend Jeff and I can typically finish off our battle pass probably about 4 weeks before it's due, right? I've said before, they need to about mid-season offer a extended battle pass where you pay 400 V-bucks and you get pushed to level 150, or it goes to 150. Those 150 challenges now open up and you extend from there. I think they need to look at that extension model, because I think they could really monetize a lot more on that as well, and probably help out as well. I do want to say here, big thanks to Adam in the chat. I see he said, I sent a search and rescue team for Justin. They never made it back though. So I appreciate that. And everyone reaching out to me. I thought this was Nintendo Dads, not Fortnite Dads. Thank you, Mecha Drake, and I appreciate that. We will move on. My heart is broken for Apex, but I'll be fine. Thank you for everyone's support.
We like Fortnite. Sorry. Speaking of competition, new Super Mario 35th anniversary missions are now available. These include creating a Mario Kart Live home circuit racer ID, with the added challenge of actually finding one of those in stores right now. You can also get...
can you create a racer ID without buying the product? I didn't look into it.
Yes, you can. I was on their site a moment ago.
All right.
Well, there you go. Handy tips with Justin. You can also read the monthly Nintendo newsletter. There's a code that can be found in the newsletter that's emailed out each month. You can enter it into the mission's website to complete the mission. The alternative or downside to this is that this only applies to the United States and Canada regional accounts. So if you're listening to us from outside of the U.S. or Canada, you can't do that. And then there's still the missions we've already talked about that are going on right now. You can also sign up for the Super Mario Maker 2 Ninja Speed Run online. You have to complete it before November 24th. And you participate. And if you participate in the Mario Maker 2 Ninja Speed Run, you'll also get a mission from that as well. Guys, we have been a little long in the tooth with news tonight, so let's move on and talk very quickly about some events, shall we?
Do it.
All right, we just want to remind all of our patrons that Nintendo Dad's monthly Mayhem will be wrapping up very shortly, November 8th at noon Eastern. This month's game was Super Mario 35, and you can submit your stat screen in the Discord so we can see your level and number of wins. $25 in eShop credit is on the line for this. One winner gets $15, and one randomly generated winner gets $10. And that's just a contest for fun to play together that we run because we love you guys. Also, Retro Rewind at the dinner table. Tim, what's our game this month for Retro Rewind?
It's actually 3 games that you have a choice of, or actually 5 if you count the newer versions. But it's first gen Pokemon. You can pick red, blue, or yellow. And any way you can play it. Obviously, we're going to mention more of the legal ways, but grabbing a Game Boy and having, if you have the original, play red, blue, or yellow, or play via the virtual console and the 3DS, or we did say you can. Yep, see, Jesse's got it. Or you can play the Fire Red or Leaf Green, which is on GBA if you
I
prefer
don't think
those.
the batteries are good anymore, but I have 2 carts.
I think there's people out there who even help by changing those batteries. But yeah, we're playing those for our Retro Rewind on the dinner table, and we're playing that until we meet again for November's dinner table, which sounds like it'll be Black Friday by the votes that I asked for that. Because usually it's the 3rd Friday of every month that we do the dinner table, where multiple people from the community, our Discord community, can join in, and we record it, and I push it out in a podcast essentially, so that those who couldn't attend can listen to it. I do have the one from the one we just did in October ready to go. I just didn't want it to collide with all the other podcasts we've got going on. So I'll get it out there within the window between this one and probably the next one, which will be probably the Endad Crossing show. So, but that'll be coming out soon. And then, like I said, the dinner table show, which we do talk about Retro Rewind, will be on Black Friday in November. So, and that's usually at 10:30. So I'll try to keep reminding you guys of that whenever we're on, so that you can add it to your calendar appropriately. Especially since it's not the 3rd Friday in November, it's going to be the 4th Friday, because of that's when Black Friday falls.
Awesome. Also, a couple things for you to be mindful of. Splatoween is this weekend, beginning at 3 p.m. Pacific time on the 30th. If you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, that's today. If you're watching us on YouTube and Twitch, that's tomorrow. And that ends on 11/1. I was reading it in the across the pond way. At 10:59 Pacific time. And you can choose Team Trick or Team Treat. And even if you join in halfway through the weekend, you'll still be able to choose that and get in. Guys, Splatoween, if you haven't are on the fence about Splatoon 2, one of the coolest Splatfests they do, so don't miss this one this weekend. Also, Super Mario 35 is running an event beginning tomorrow at 12 a.m. Pacific time called a Halloween Spectacle. You play through 9 levels with dark backgrounds as you start with 100 coins. The levels in rotation are 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 6, 1, 6, 2, and 6, 3.
And if you have those lucky bingo numbers or those lotto numbers, please contact your folks for a lucky 649.
Yahtzee.
Yep. Also, a reminder here that the free 7-day trial from the My Nintendo account website for 0 platinum coins expires on November 2nd. So if you're still on the fence about a My Nintendo account, that's a way for you to check that out.
That's a trial for Nintendo Switch Online. I forgot to add that part of the message in the notes. But
yeah. So it is for the Nintendo Switch Online. So go check that out.
And maybe, Marty, just speaking of events, just before we jump over to what we have been playing, maybe we can sit in this pocket for a quick moment and talk about a big event that's coming up for us.
Absolutely. Beginning next week on Friday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time, Extra Life 2020 with the Nintendo Dads goes live. I'll be up first. And in the middle, Justin will join me for a little bit of time. He will continue the stream on until Tim joins him and rounds us out Sunday night. So what that means is, yes, guys, we're going to podcast next week. You're going to get your podcast at the normal time. You'll be able to listen to that Friday morning. It'll be ready for you. But at 8 a.m., we also want you to tune in and watch us play games and hang out and have a great time for 48 hours. 48 hours of wonderful Nintendo Dad stream content. What are we going to play? We don't know.
What aren't you going to play?
We are going to have a great time. I do know that I've already promised people, and I'm going to sit in this pocket on Friday night late so people can actually see it. I am going to play Diddy Kong Racing, which Dan sent over last year to try to play, and my capture card wouldn't work with the HD out that he had sent me for that. So we're going to try to make that work this year. Also, there's going to be times where we're together playing and streaming. And so we'll be playing a lot of co-op games. Hopefully we'll throw some Jackbox in there for you guys. And of course, if you're watching my stream, there's going to be some Mega Man. But I'm just looking forward to raising some money. Guys, I checked earlier today, and we are already past 30% of the way there for our team goal of $3,500. And you can donate by heading over to extra-life.com, or is it .org? I'll probably get this wrong.
We should probably put a
Extra Life?
link on our website to make it.
We do
easier.
have a link on our website. Just go to nintendodads.org. Just go to there, and we have a link there.
Yeah, you can see. You can also on nintendodads.org track how we're doing so far. So before we forget, because we do want your support, one of the ways that we want to get your support is we are going to offer you some fantabulous prizes over the next few days, and I am not kidding when I say this. That this is literally
boxes.
The most and the best prizes that we've ever been able to offer for Extra Life. So when you log on and you donate to either myself or Justin or Antonio or Tim, those are the 4 people who are on our team, every dollar that you donate goes to giving an entry for these prizes. All right? Every dollar. So that means if you donate $25, you're in the hat 25 times. If you donate $50, you're in the hat 50 times. If you donate $500, you're in the hat 500 times. So what are we giving away? Well, let me just tell you. First and foremost, the number one thing we want you to know we're giving away is somebody is going to win a brand new Nintendo Switch Lite, courtesy of Nintendo Dads, the color of your choice. Now, that is availability pending, because as we all know, it's kind of hard to get a Nintendo Switch sometimes right now. So you'll get to pick the color. You'll get to pick, where it's going to be delivered. It will be shipped to you, brand new in the box, Nintendo Switch Lite.
That's crazy, Marty. Surely there's more.
Oh, there is. One lucky winner is also going to win a brand new in the box copy of Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, the Mario edition.
What? Do you have that physically already? Because I hear it's hard to get.
It's sitting here in my office.
No way.
I can't show you because it's way over on the other side of the room, but it's there. Also, guys, I hadn't even told you this beforehand, but I'm going to share it with you now. Antonio has stepped up in a big way and is providing his own prizes that he's going to give away.
What?
And he is providing 5 winners will win a digital copy of Celeste.
Nice.
For Nintendo Switch.
Well done, Antonio.
And that's super cool. We're going to be giving away free games. We're going to Nintendo Dad's game vouchers. We're going to be giving away. By the way, huge thanks to our to the Goose folks over at PDP, who sent us. And I'm not lying when I said this. The shipment that came to my house was 20 pounds. 20 pounds of controllers. What are the little
8-bit pixel pals.
Like 8 or 9 pixel pals to give away. There's a GameCube controller in there. There's wireless controllers with headphone jacks in there. There's cases. There's starter kits. You can go over to our Instagram right now and check out that picture taken on my couch of all the stuff that just exploded out of this box. We're going to be giving that away too, as well as Nintendo Dad swag. And who knows, guys, I'm just going to say this. The goal, if I make 17, my goal is $1,750. I've already thrown this challenge out there. If we make that or exceed it, I'm eating the ghost pepper donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
That's crazy. That's nuts. That is absolutely crazy. We're
I
excited.
didn't know that was a thing.
I might drink maple syrup on stream. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to get crazy.
It's going to be nuts. It's going to be so crazy. We don't even know what's happening.
No.
Okay.
Also,
you're driving me nuts. You're driving me nuts because you're not saying the one big one that I'm excited about that we have no idea what it is.
I was about to tell you. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's something big.
Y'all, we contacted Ginky, who made the Bluetooth audio adapter for Nintendo Switch, the Ginky audio adapter that plugs into the bottom. They also made the remote dock, the portable dock that I have and Justin have. We love it. It works fantastically. And we said, hey, we'd like to give away a dock. And Justin, tell the folks what they said.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull the tweet. I will say this. They said, we have a surprise. We have a surprise
Secret product.
Secret product that we will provide you. So they haven't announced it. It is a secret. We know what it is, but we have to tell you it's secret product.
We know what it is. It's
but
not
it is
even
pretty
available
freaking
for
cool.
you to purchase.
No. Here's the other thing. You know what? Last week I gave away a Nintendo Switch, right? I said like, let's do it. But it was crazy, right? I feel like I'm in a crazy mood right now. I'm going to add more to this.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the creme de creme. This is the top of the mountain. If you donate, you have an opportunity to win Jesse Waldack living with you. We will ship Jesse to your house. He will live in your basement for years. He will make artisan sandwiches, and he will regale you with stories of the Atari and of the Amico, and he will rock you to sleep in his loving arms and let those the beard just scratch you. And ladies and gentlemen,
Can I get on this
Of
I
course.
don't remember
Of course you
agreeing to
can.
any of this.
Sweet.
Of course you
I'm
can.
donating all my money for this. I hope I win the grand
Right?
prize. That's
That
the
is a
grand
gift
prize,
from
right?
us to you. Here are the reasons that you should be donating to us. First, it's for the kids and it's for Miracle Network Children's, and that's incredible, and we're so proud of it. Number 2, we got some awesome swag with some awesome partners. That's awesome. Number 3, if you like tax receipts, you're getting some. And number 4, and probably the most important one, we want to destroy the Mega Dads. That's really what it's all about, ladies and
Every
gentlemen.
year,
Those
it's
are
always
the
that.
reasons. Every
Can
single
we
year.
can we do this right here? Can we do this right here? For real,
Yeah.
because I know that's a joke about Jesse going and living with somebody.
Can we actually send
no,
them?
here it
Sure.
is. The real thing. Whichever podcast loses, Mega Dads or Nintendo Dads, has to make a video of their cast making artisanal sandwiches.
I think you need to reach out to Adam for that one. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we won't be making artisanal sandwiches.
No.
We never do.
We never do.
Never.
3 years running. 3 years running. So anyway, we need your help. You can go right now over to nintendodads.org. Click on the Extra Life banner that shows how far we are in our donations right now. You'll be taken to our team page where then you can go and click on one of the members and donate to them. Here, can I just say this? By the end of what we've been playing, I would love to see a donation.
That'd be amazing.
One. Just one.
Yep.
And, I would love to see at least one member of our team get a donation by the time, because I know people are listening. I know people are watching right now on YouTube and Twitch.
I can see you in the YouTube, Twitch spots. I can see you, Sean Capri. I can see you, Adam. I can see you,
Come
Solo
on.
something. Let's
Call
go.
them out.
Blurpy, Mecha Dragon. Let's go.
Knocking on the door. Look, you don't have to wait for Extra Life. You can go ahead and donate right now. Y'all, let me tell you something. Every time a donation comes across on I get a text message and I show my son and his eyes light up, because he starts talking about Extra Life in June.
Wow.
He's waiting. He's like, Dad, when we're going to have Minecraft time with Isaac. And I was like, yes, we are. Yes, we are, because you got to get in there and you got to play some Minecraft, son. So we're gonna be doing that. The main thing that we've got to do between now and then is figure out all this technical stuff, like who's going to host and who's going to stream, and how are we going to put all the pictures in and all that fun stuff. We'll figure that out eventually. But
I know what
anyway,
to do about that.
okay, very good. November 6th, 8 a.m. We expect to see you. I expect to see you watching at 8 a.m. on November 6th, which is a Friday, with the volume turned all the way down. You're at work. It's boring. It's Friday. You're ready to go home. And I'm playing video games to entertain you while you're waiting. All right? And so if you have a suggestion of games you'd like us to play, drop it. Drop it at nintendodads@gmail.com, or hit us up on social media. and we'll do our best to work that in. All right, now what have we been playing? Let's go.
I bet you
Jesse-
Jesse's a gentle rocker. I bet
He
you.
is.
You know what I'm
He is.
saying?
He rocks
Just
you to
gentle.
sleep.
Just gentle.
Sings over you.
Just
I'm
gentle.
worried about you.
It's just Wookiee songs.
Ugh.
Jesse, what have you been playing, buddy?
All right, so playing more Super Mario Brothers 35. I'm hoping to get to level 100 before the end of the monthly Mayhem tournament. I am very frustrated with the game. I haven't won a game in almost 3 weeks, so it is very slow moving. So I think I'm like 92 now. I don't remember, but so I'm still struggling with that, trying to get the dailies done every day if I can. Playing more Dragon Quest VII. There is a little story bit I wanted to talk about, because I really haven't talked story, is because we did this 3 or 4 years ago, but in general, you put together these fragments of a tablet to get warped back to a new island in the past. You solve their problem, then you can go to that new island in the present time and then solve their problem to get enough tablets to open the next island in the past, etc. One of the islands in the past is a town called Nottingham. So you go to the past, solve their problem, you go to the present, and it's a wasteland, nothing there. And you're like, what's going on? This isn't right. This isn't right. So they go back in the past again, find out that there's a second problem. So you solve that problem, you go back to the future, and it's still a wasteland. So you go back to the past again for a third problem. And in this problem, you have a choice. If you make the right choice, you go to the present, you'll actually save the town, and the town will be there and prosper. If you make the wrong choice, it'll still be a wasteland, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I picked the wrong choice. So after all that work, I can't. There's no present day to explore, and hopefully there was no mini medals in there that I now missed. But I thought that was that was an amusing little story that I got. And of course, the town name Nottingham, not again. So you have to go back and forth. And so I'm like 63 hours into it now. I was hoping to be able to beat it before Pikmin, but that didn't happen because Pikmin is now launches in about 30 seconds. Okay. The quick game. We talked about Age of Calamity demo. I won't talk about that anymore. The last game I have called Kakurasu World. It released last week on Friday. I saw it on last week's PR, and it was marked at $3 discounted to 99 cents. So I did a pre-order on it. When I was only charged 49 cents. So it's weird that I only got charged half of the discounted price, but I'm not complaining. So this is a Picross-like game, but it's kind of a cross between Picross and I don't remember the other one, but basically, well, I'll just keep it going then. So instead of hints on the top and the left, you have hints on all four sides. The top and the left are just the numbers 1 through n of how of the size of the square. Starts out 4, goes up to 9, and then the numbers on the right and the bottom is the sum of the digits that line up. So if it's say a 1, then so say in the 4x4, each column will have a value of 1, 2, or 3, or 4. So if the sum is 1, it's the 1 and only 1. If it's a 2, it's 2 and only 2. But if it's a 3, it can be either the 3 or the 2 and the 1. So you do that for horizontal and vertical to eventually solve it. It's not a lot of options. It just jumps you right into the game. There's 90 puzzles total. I did the first 10 relatively quickly. Then I said, let's see what the hardest one is. So I went and did Puzzle 90, which is a 9x9. And that took me a while. Maybe, I don't think it took me 10 minutes, 6 to 8 or so. But the 4x4s I was knocking out in like 20 seconds. It's fun, but it doesn't quite scratch that Picross itch that I like. So again, there's a game coming out tomorrow that I'll be also picking up and playing that, and we'll see what that does. Then and the when you're drawing the puzzle, the solution, it doesn't even draw anything. It's just random dots, and that isn't very exciting. At least when you solve a Picross that makes a picture, you feel like you've accomplished something, like you've completed the painting, instead of I just picked up paint and went on the wall. So, but again, I paid 49 cents for this, so I really can't complain too much.
49 cents is a good price. It's a good price. Yeah. Justin.
I need to stop for a second. Marty, you asked for some donations.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you that I just received, thanks to the amazing folks here in our chat here, 125 USD in donation for Extra Life.
I just received a donation as well for 25.
Thank you very much to Adam. Thank you so much to Eston. That is guys. Wow. That is, thank you so much for that.
Dang.
That man, guys, big applaud. We're seeing that in the chat. Thank you guys so much. That is incredible. Again, every dollar to just these foundations, these hospitals is incredible. Thank you so much. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, unbelievable. Justin, since we're on you, why don't we?
Yeah, sorry. What have I been playing? Hyrule Warriors, mentioned that already. I've been playing Control. We talked about that a little bit. I'm really enjoying it. It's super cool. Creepy, super creepy. I didn't realize it was kind of a horror game. If you have played Control before, Marty, you have, right?
I have not.
Okay. Has anyone here played Control? Like on the other consoles?
Yep.
Yeah. Man, that melee that you have at the beginning, man, that is something. That makes you feel like that. Yeah, I was like, that is awesome. That just destroys.
That's what you need to get
people.
to in the demo. To be able to do that in the demo will probably hook some people. Like you said, you need to get that.
Yeah. Hook. Yeah, like that is pretty incredible. So I've been loving Control. I'll tell you more about it as I get more into it. I'm about 40 minutes in. Really cool story though. I'm engaged. I'm hooked. The setting shifts all the time. That's kind of the catch of it. But I'm really, really interested and I've been enjoying my time with it. The other game I'm playing, 2 games. Oceanhorn 2 came out this week for the Nintendo Switch. This is a really fun game. Obviously, it feels inspired by Breath of the Wild and Zelda, but it's really a lot of fun. It's a great kind of approachableness from a kid's perspective. It's family friendly, some fun writing, some good VO work. It again feels very Breath of the Wild, or not Breath of the Wild, sorry, but Legend of Zelda. Oh my gosh, he's on a boat. Toon Link. What one is that one?
Wind Waker?
Wind Waker. Kind of feels Wind Waker-esque at times. Oceanhorn 2. Check it out. Like, I'm really enjoying it. Check out my Let's Play of it. We've also got an interview with the developer. I'd recommend it. Like, 2 thumbs up from Justin. The other one, this is the one, Marty, you should you should check out for Halloween. Pumpkin Jack. Pumpkin Jack. It's on sale right now on the Nintendo Switch eShop for like 20% off. It is a 3D... not open world, 3D platformer, very reminiscent of, in some ways, Crash Bandicoot and Medieval. It was developed and created by one guy. Some really fun graphics. There's some collectathon portions of it. It's really, and for being Halloween, it's super, super cool and fun. Like all the games I'm playing this week, I'd highly recommend. Pumpkin Jack, though, that is one that probably wasn't really on people's radar. And if you just saw the trailer, you're like, I've got a Let's Play up of that as well. There's moments of it that actually also feel like Donkey Kong Country, because they have a minecart for like 3D minecart experience that I just smiled. I was like, this is what video games are all about. Ton of fun. So those are my recommendations. Sorry?
They're all about minecarts?
I'm all about minecarts. That's exactly it. I would highly check it out. Again, Pumpkin Jack. Oceanhorn 2, and Control. If I was to say you really, really recommend one right now, if you're like, Justin, where am I putting my dollars? I'm actually going to say I'd probably say Pumpkin Jack. If you're like, if I had to pick one of those three right now, I'd say Pumpkin Jack. Come back to me later with Control, but of course Control is dependent on your internet connection. So that's another reason why I might not say that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tim, what you been playing?
Sorry, I'm just distracted by all these donations we're all of a sudden getting because we got a couple more in here too.
Cool.
But I was just trying to get to the page where I could see it. But yes, Mecha Dragon just gave $25 to
Wow,
the crew. So
freaking awesome, guys.
and I think yeah, I'm just trying to get to.
Wow.
It's just yeah. I'm flabbergasted in a good way. So
Yeah.
just because we jumped up, I was just noticing the number just jump, and I was like, "Whoa, what the heck?" It's like, and you mentioned Adam. You know, he actually donated, I think, to each of us, not just once. He did it each of us, which was awesome too.
And that's that's Canadian, so that's like $1 billion.
Yeah,
right. Translated to American, that's like a bajillion dollars.
You guys are awesome. Again,
Absolutely.
Thanks so much. And
hey, by the way, that puts us at 36% of our goal already there. We've now crossed $1,200.
I know, right?
Which means we're definitely beating the Mega Dads.
And we're already jumped up in the team rankings at 466. I was joking in the chat that we were at 504. Now we're at 466.
Yeah, and someone had said that the Mega Dads were at 1,306.
That was me.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
So, yeah, all right. So what have I been playing? All right. So a little bit of Pokemon Yellow, as I mentioned before, for the Retro Rewind. I just started that. I chose that one because I actually never played the first gen. So I just chose the harder of the three, apparently, from what I read. But I'm excited to play that one. So
it's the hardest one just because you are forced with the starter, and the first gym is strong against it. So you have to find the one Pokemon that will help you, and then grind it up to be useful before you go beat Brock.
Yep, and I'm using
once you get past that, really, it's
just regular.
Should
Pokemon,
go fast. It's regular Pokemon, but you just got to get over that first gym first.
All right.
Whereas if you picked any other game, you pick Bulbasaur, you're good until Gym 3.
Okay. Yeah, and I've been using I'm using IGN's walkthrough for that too. So and they already tell you right off the bat, yellow. If you do yellow, you're gonna have different things and stuff like that. So I played 2-player Untitled Goose game with my son. We got that. I got the physical version that came in the mail right here. If you're watching. So got the physical, and it came with some cool stuff on the inside and all that kind of stuff. So, but I wanted the physical one because my wife wanted to play it too. But I also wanted to play that 2-player co-op version of Untitled Goose Game, and it's actually a lot of fun. I never played that game either by myself, but that is a lot of fun with someone else and Goofy. With the two gooses running around and.
Don't you mean Goosey?
Yes, definitely being Goosey. Before I just shout out to actually, I noticed somebody who's in the chat, Martel. He's one of my classmates I've been going to class with.
Nice.
He's actually joining in the chat, so I just wanted to give a shout out to him real quick, as well as everybody else who's joined. I don't want to exclude anybody, but just wanted to say hey.
Welcome to the world of IT.
Yes. So back to the games I was playing. Burnout. Actually, again, playing some more games with my son, and we tried out the 2-player mode that's in here. There's a party mode, and I'm not sure how many more people can play, but it was just the 2 of us, and it was pretty cool because it gave us, basically, we did random best, 3 out of 5, competition of these tricks that you do in Paradise City. We did it once, but it was a lot of fun where basically we had to one of the tricks was drift as far as you can without hitting the wall. And so we did that. And then another one was do a barrel roll with your car and land on your tires, without crashing. So, and you had to do that, and you get points for that. And then whoever gets the best 3 out of 5 out of that, and the points with that, essentially, actually it's points, not necessarily 3 out of 5, but you play 3 matches, and the most points wins. So that was pretty cool. That's the first time I got to play the party mode in that, and so that was something I didn't even think of when I bought Burnout. I was, of course, I love my racing games, so it was more me racing, but it was pretty cool to see that was a part of it. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory demo. I played the 1-player and 2-player modes for that. Again, playing some 2-player mode games with my son, and we had a lot of fun with that. I'm excited for this game because I didn't play all of those Kingdom Hearts games, and the only game I did play, I only played a little bit of, and that was on the DS. So, but I've always been interested in it, but I never wanted to put in the time for it. So what I like about this game is that I can get the whole story by playing the rhythm games. So, and it was pretty cool. I liked where it was going, and I think I'll probably pick up this game when it comes out. Of course, a little bit more Animal Crossing, getting ready for Halloween, and then on to Try and Control, and we talked about that. So I did try that one, and when it's in my games to purchase, I guess, if you will, later on down the line, I will be picking that one up too, because I didn't play that one all the way through on any of their consoles either. Play the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demo, which we all talked about. Just want to highlight the 2-player mode is really cool, how you can jump in and out of that pretty easily when you get to the map. So if that aspect intrigues you, I would say check out the demo and try that out. Also played Part-Time UFO, which is that HAL Laboratory game. It was a mobile game at first. It's a very cute game. A lot of fun. I didn't get to try 2-player yet. My son's very interested in trying that with me, so hopefully this weekend we'll get to try that out, because there is a 2-player mode. Basically, you're an alien in a spaceship, and you're doing these jobs around this small community.
It's like the claw of the game.
Yeah, it's a claw game essentially, but a couple things that I played that kind of remind me of how I played it before was basically you come in, you're flying in, you make a farmer crash, and all his stuff falls out of his truck, and you have to help him stack his stuff back into the truck. And then you get points for that and how well it stacks and make sure it doesn't fall. And you get stars, and it's a very mobile-ish game, but I do like it much better on the Switch because of the controls. So I'm excited to play it, and it's $8 right now, and we all know it'll probably go on sale sometime. So, but if you do like games like that, which I do hope they would do a demo of if there isn't one already, I do hope they put a demo of this out, because that I think will sell some games too. And then finally, one that is taking me a little bit longer to play, because it's, as Marty has said before about games he's played, it's hard as balls. And it's the Wallachia Reign of Dracula game. It's basically I would say a first, second, third generation Castlevania type game. It's as hard as those games were when they first came out. Marty, I actually think you might like this game because it is hard, but as you get used to it, you get further and make progression. And there are some Contra elements that kind of give me a Contra feel too. Like you'll get these things that fly by, you shoot out of the sky, and you'll get power-ups that way. That's where I get the kind of Contra feel to it. Yeah, that it is hard especially for a gamer like me who doesn't get into those type of games, because when you die, you start at the beginning of that level. You don't well, I should take that back. You get 2 lives, you die, and you start at that section you left off at. But when you go to hit continue after you lost your 2 lives, you start at the beginning of that whole stage. So, and there are different modes. There's an easy mode, but if you play easy mode, it won't unlock any achievements or anything like that. And there are achievements in the game. I just haven't unlocked any yet. And I'm playing normal mode. And then there's a hard mode. And it is, again, it's fun because so far I can see that I'm learning when I play and I die, I learn what I did wrong and I go on and I make it further. I play and I die, I learn what I did wrong, I make it further. Now what I'm stuck at is that first stage boss. And I don't know what's going to happen once I beat that stage boss and then go on and die and I hit continue. I hope I'm not starting back at stage 1. I hope I'm at least starting back at the beginning of stage 2. That part I don't know yet, and that's why I haven't done a video yet, because I want to get past that first boss and understand if it is hard as balls game, that I'm getting somewhere with it at least, instead of just, okay, you died, you lost your 2 lives, you got to start the whole game over. Then that turns me off. I don't want to play the game anymore. But so far it's been fun. Like I said, I'm learning something, and I should have hopefully a video out by sometime this weekend.
So
that's what I've been playing.
Is it Ghosts and Goblins hard?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure, because it might be because that game turned me off because of how hard it was.
Gotcha.
So it could be that hard.
All right, I'll have to check that out then. So is it out now, or are we still waiting on it to drop?
It is out. Yes, I believe it came out today.
Perfect. So let me talk very quickly about what I've been playing. It's not Control, because I can't play it at my house. I actually tried. It's
out of Control.
Got 5 seconds into the first cutscene and went nope, and just kicked me out. I also tried the Cake Bash demo, and I cannot wait for this game to drop. It looks like it's going to be so much fun, kind of like Boomerang Fu and other games like that. It's a bunch of party games where you play as pieces of cake and eclairs and muffins, and you fight over candy and see who can roast the best marshmallows, and it's pretty charming. Like all the food kind of looks real, and it has like stick arms and legs and lines
Sounds
drawn
very
into
carvy.
faces. Yeah, I really like it. But I've also been playing No More Heroes, which I downloaded, and I don't have anything to compare this game to, but I'm loving it so far. It's fast, it's fun, the combat feels great. Again, as I said earlier, it is not for kids. It is not a game to play around your kids. Tons of sweary words and blood shooting everywhere. Like most enemies, you either cut them in half or cut their head off, and then they explode into a shower of coins and blood, which then rain down around you. Also sexual themes, and you save by taking a dump. And so...
That always cracks me up.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely not for... It's not for kids. But I love the improvements they made on it. You can definitely tell it's a Wii era game as far as like the way the stages are laid out, and there's some limitations there. And yeah, so that's what I've been playing. Now let's turn on the community spotlight. And we're going to head over to some questions that we received this week from Discord and Patreon. Tim, take it away.
Yes, sir. All right, starting with Discord, we got Ducade87. It's probably a question you're all going to talk about tonight, but I just want to know about cloud gaming. Is it the future for Nintendo to keep up with current gen gaming? I've had a good think about cloud gaming and how I think I would never pay £40 for a streaming game. But on the other hand, I'm happy to pay for digital streaming movies through iTunes. Are we just fighting against something which will become a norm soon? With 4G and 5G now a big part of life, playing cloud gaming on the go is a real seamless possibility as long as Nintendo makes connecting to hotspots easier. I'm lucky enough to have unlimited data through my mobile provider. I don't know what it's like for everyone else. Any thoughts on that? I know we talked about it a lot, but any other comments on that?
I think this will be more norm as more areas in the country and world get more bandwidth, and then the data caps is going to be like another big issue. The carriers will have to play nice, because if they cap you at like 150 gigs. That doesn't last as long anymore as it did 10 years ago.
Right. Yes.
Just downloading one game on Xbox Series X will be 120 gig.
Right. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see as we get further down the line how that's all gonna play out.
Yeah, I think 5G will be will help, but I think that ground-based networks will still have to improve as well. So, like the cable providers and whatnot, needs to stop playing games with their billing and actually put out a decent product.
Agreed. Very, very much so. All right, Anoxis says, I've noticed, and I'm sure the others have too, that different consoles have implemented features similar to Nintendo's gimmicks, that he has in quotes, like motion controls, PlayStation Move, and Xbox Connect on their platforms. Now that Nintendo has a cloud-based streaming game like Control, what features besides cloud gaming would you like for Nintendo to adopt from Sony or Microsoft? And he says, no easy answers like better online play. Really think about it. Go.
I think the one for me that comes straight to mind is I want to see them adopt a program like Game Pass.
Yeah,
Right? I want to. I'll pay $10 extra a month or whatever Nintendo Cloud subscription service, and I get access to these games. Bang, bang, bang. Right? And that's what I
even
want.
if not in a Game Pass, but Sony has free games through PlayStation Plus. Xbox also had. I don't know if that's going away. Games with gold, which is similar product. You basically buy them for free, and as long as you're a subscriber, you have access to them forever.
Right.
Until you stop paying, and then you no longer have access.
So, Justin, you're basically wanting them to expand what they already offer with Switch Online to be more of one of those things. Yeah. That makes sense.
To include actual retail product instead of just NES, SNES, and 99-player games.
Yep, I agree. That would be cool. Marty, do you have anything?
Yeah, like if I'm thinking about this issue and what they should adopt from cloud gaming, or especially from Sony and Microsoft, is like the Game Pass type thing, right? Like okay. There has been so much said about Xbox Game Pass and how you get a game on Nintendo Switch, it comes out and it's $29.99, or it's available on Game Pass right now. And you're already paying for Game Pass. I pay for Game Pass simply for an Xbox that I have here at my office. I don't even play it at home. And so I would love to see Nintendo do something like that, as like where there is a collective of all their old retro stuff. Like, don't make me just have SNES and NES. Okay, I get that. Like, I love that stuff, but it's way beyond time for GameCube and N64 and even the Wii era games to come to that. And I would gladly pay for it. But what I would hope for is that they would handle it like they're doing right now, which is like you could download it and play it. It just checks in every 7 days. I do like that part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like PS Now used to be, I think, all 100% streaming, and I think they did change it so you can download the game and play it from your system and not through streaming as part of that product. But I haven't played with PS Now since its beta, so I'm not 100% sure how that works.
It is a downloadable. I had it briefly for a year at least. I paid for a year where it does download. I had it on my PC actually. So
that, Game Pass like.
Yes. Yep. So you could download it and then play it. So it was pretty cool. But it didn't offer enough on that side compared to the Game Pass. So that's why I stopped that one. The one thing that actually I would want them to adopt that's actually not Sony or Microsoft, because I don't think they do this either, and I think it is harder, but I think Nintendo could do it, and I would pay a little bit more per game if that's what it meant, is family sharing, making that a lot easier. so that if I turned on a Switch without having to like put my Nintendo Switch into airplane mode just so my son can play a game that I had that I signed in on his, you know, to be able to, hit a switch like I can in Google Play, say, yes, add this to the family, folder or whatever they call it, the family play thing. And then that's what I can do with my movies. That's what I can do with some apps. To be able to do that, if I can turn it on, if I have to pay extra, I'm fine with that. I don't know how much extra, but at least to be able to say, okay, I'll pay instead of 60, I'll say $80. That will allow my whole family to be able to play this game at the same time, I think would be awesome. I know that would probably lose some revenue, but maybe that's part of the online subscription thing too. I don't know. But
Yeah, it could be like an add-on to the NSL. So
yes,
like an extra, say, $20 a year
right.
more
Yeah.
to say, or to give 2 or 3 other accounts that will share your digital library.
Yes. Yeah. So whatever's viable, I would like to be able to have that.
I think
option.
8's out of I think the maximum 8 that they have in their family plan. I think that's high. I don't think that's reasonable. But say 2 or 3 accounts I think would be good. I think Apple does something similar with their apps. I think you can share it with up to 5 people.
Yes.
You just say, I'll share these apps with these people, and they're done.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's 5 also for Google Play. So, all right. Drew has an interesting question as well. Says, I'll do a fun question for tonight. If Hyrule and Mushroom Kingdom went to war, who would win and how? Look at all your faces,
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like your mind immediately goes to the fact that Hyrule has horses, swords, arrows, magic, but then you've got Bowser, who's like pulling giant machines out and airships and cannons and has magic and all this stuff. I mean, Bowser himself, I think, could take on
if it's just
at least part of the Hyrule army.
Yeah.
If it's like just Team Peach, who isn't, they don't have as much magic, then that's no question. But the Bowser side of that, I think their magic is probably more powerful than the magic you see in Hyrule.
Mm-hmm.
But Hyrule just does have a lot of other technology. But I think so. Yeah, we've seen all the crap that Kamek's done over the years.
I think the Mushroom Kingdom will win, and here's why. There appears to be an endless supply of Goombas. And I think that they will just flood the kingdom full of them.
I think I've squished 25,000 of them in that one game.
Yeah, exactly.
So instead of World War Z, it's World War G for Goombas?
Yeah.
Because it just swarmed.
I like it.
Nice. Yeah, I can't argue with that one. But it does make me think.
Plus, here's the deal. You've got the unknown variable on the Mushroom Kingdom side of Waluigi's lurking out there somewhere. And he's got some pipe bombs or something, hidden somewhere.
Right. But thinking of this subject makes me think of those NES remix games. And I always thought it would be really cool that if they did and I think we talked about this before, where comics did the crossovers between Marvel and DC and all that kind of stuff. It'd be kind of cool if Samus ended up in Mario World or something like that, or Bowser ends up in Samus's world, that type of stuff. Just full crossover or even like you said, Bowser goes over to Zelda and he's the bad guy. And Zelda's got to fight Bowser or something like that. Just those type of weird things would be kind of interesting to see. All right. Next set of questions is from our Patreon. First one is Jesus Amada. Now that is a Nintendo Direct. I was on the edge of my seat. So many great announcements, such great pacing, and a demo available now. Take my money, Nintendo. Where have you been hiding this fantastic direct, and why have you been giving us lackluster directs before this? What were your favorite announcements? Have you guys played the Hyrule demo yet? And lastly, Justin Buddy, EA Respawn displaying or delaying Apex Legends. I feel betrayed, but at least I can continue playing on Xbox One and PS4. Hopefully we get Apex for Season 8 on a Nintendo Switch. Have a great show. And I think we answered a lot of those questions.
I will also say this for the Apex part of it. For when Apex does finally drop, I will likely take a day off of work to play it. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need a squad. So if you want to squad up and play Apex Legends with me the day it drops, let me know. We're going to set that stuff up because I'm going to need some help. I've never played it before. I'm going to need someone to help guide me through this. So maybe Jesus is on my squad.
Nice.
You need someone to ride him through.
Exactly. I really do. I really do.
Show
What
him
he's
bro.
saying is he's probably going to suck.
Very much so,
And
probably.
so
Yes.
you're going to have to pick up the slack.
Yes. Unless everybody's new on the Nintendo Switch playing that game, then you're all gonna suck.
Yep.
That's true.
All right. We read the Nick one. That was part of the whole cloud services thing. We did talk about that one briefly, so I'll skip over that one. Thanks again, Nick, for from the NDAD Crossing crew for sending that in. Antonio, he sent in, I am incredibly excited about our extra live stream next week and the opportunity to be a part of the Nintendo Dads team. During my stream, I will be doing a casual any percentage run of my absolute favorite game of all time, Celeste. Keep an eye on the Extra Life channel and Discord for an update on my stream schedule. The first 5 patrons and the Nintendo Dads who donate $20 or more during my stream will receive a Nintendo eShop digital download code for Celeste. Please join me and the rest of the Nintendo Dads team in supporting hospital systems that have made incredible impacts on our lives and the lives of countless others. So that goes to what you were talking about, Marty, what he
So
was
cool.
doing. Yes.
So cool.
And Easton Huff. We've got Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa stated
Furukawa.
while we... What's that?
Furukawa.
Furukawa stated, while we don't expect all games to become cloud games anytime soon, the technologies are definitely advancing. We see a future where cloud and streaming technologies will develop more and more as means of delivering games to consumers. We must keep up with such changes in the environment. That being said, if these changes increase the worldwide gaming population, that will just give us more opportunities with our integrated hardware and software development approach to reach people worldwide with a unique entertainment that Nintendo can provide. And we just got another cloud game. Can we expect the next Switch to have cloud-focused hardware for a portable Switch, much like a smartphone? But also, Nintendo has its own brand of software to mesh with ladder hardware. The ladder hardware, our current Switch.
Where's the Justin was right bumper? Because that feels like Justin was right.
No.
Yeah, this is another pillar for them. I've said it before. I've said it today already. I think this is gonna be huge for them.
Yes.
I'm very excited to see what 2020 brings. I'm very excited. What does this mean for the Switch Pro? Yeah, I think this opens up a door I don't think we've seen before, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
This
and-
is kind of like that pillar they did before when they brought out the DS, right?
Mhm.
Where they had the Game Boy, they had their home console system. The third pillar was the DS. And they were like, the DS does not replace the Game Boy. It's its own pillar. We're just, something new, something we're trying. And then, of course, it ended up replacing the Game Boy.
Yeah.
But
But
yes.
the GBA didn't want to die. They wanted to kill it faster than anything. But
Yeah.
both the GBA and the DS were doing well at the same time.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see this on a slide, right? And the slide is like, we offer 3 ways to play. Number 1, docked home. Number 2, on the go. And number 3, cloud service,
Mhm.
right? And I think that, it just, yeah, it's this very interesting stepping into that cloud space. They understand the future of it. They understand the value of it. This is a pretty big move. And I think this will set the course for a while. I think this is pretty huge for them. I think it's a little bit of like them moving away from a little bit of the mobile market and maybe, and when mobile was hot, We're in the market. Now we're moving a little bit away from mobile. We haven't seen them put in their time and effort in their mobile platforms lately. What's new, what's now the new hot video game trend? The hot video game trend right now appears to be appears to be streaming, Google Stadia, Luna. So let's get in that space. And we have the ability to do it, and they have the money to do it. They have the money, they have the brand, they have and to Jesse's point earlier, they have the install base.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
And
if Stadia was like, we have 80 million units out in the go, yeah, then they'll have a bit of an easier time at it. You have a brand you recognize that people know and have clout, Nintendo. You have a massive install base on the hottest console right now, with amazing software that sells. So guess what? Like I kid you not, I would have loved to know how many emails they got yesterday morning saying, we want to be on your cloud service. How do I get it over there? Because I can guarantee you those conversations are happening right now, and we are going to see Q1, Q2, Q3, 2021 for Nintendo will be the year of cloud gaming more.
And I'm kind of curious what service they're using, unless it's not Nintendo and it's just like, okay, yeah, you want to bring it on our platform, but that company who's publishing it, it's on whatever services they use.
I know.
You know what?
We24 Connect was a third-party vendor, and when that original contract expired, they didn't renew, and that service, that pretty much died. That's why the Wi-Fi Connect branding for DS and Wii games died in 2014. But I don't think it doesn't take a lot of hardware to stream. The Wii could stream Netflix movies, in standard def, but it still could do it. So I don't think necessarily a more powerful Switch will help us stream more. That's more server end. Again, which goes back to what I said earlier. They need more locations, more servers, and just more bandwidth, internet bandwidth on their end. And again, and the more games that gets added to the service, again, the more capacity they're going to need.
Yeah,
we've seen
and I was
website.
just reading.
Just look at any website. A sale is going to drop at 8 a.m. on Friday morning. 8:01, the website's down. Because while those websites are designed to scale, they're not scaling fast enough. So that's the issue.
Right.
These things need to be able to scale and scale fast.
So it looks like they're using a company called Ubitus.net, and that's UBITUS.net, and it is a specific cloud game company. The world's most scalable and flexible end-to-end cloud gaming system for fixed and wireless network service providers, OEMs, and game developers.
Nice.
And to be honest, how I got that, just as an FYI, folks, I went to the video that I recorded for Control and paused it when the when the companies came up, and there it was. Their title is, or their slogan is, "Enrich Your Cloud." And then I did some Googling. That's the hard-hitting journalism you're here for.
What I want to know, though, too, is Nintendo being responsible for where that's being hosted, or is it whoever wants to bring their games on the Nintendo platform, bringing that game to the cloud? Is it their responsibility to host it?
If I were Nintendo, I would want to own the servers, but outsource its maintenance.
Okay. Good to know.
That way, if something goes belly up with that company, we can always hire another company, but the servers are still mine.
Got it. Makes sense. Cool. Well, that was the last question, and I guess we got a voicemail.
We have one voicemail. Let's
from
head
Mecha
over
Dragon.
for that.
Hey, Nintendo Dads, it's me, Mecha Dragon 101. I have a podcast question for you guys today. I thought, let's mix it up a bit and do it like a voice message with it this time. So, hopefully I get the words right. The question for you guys this week is, how do you guys feel about, naming, any son or daughter or any of your children after, video games? Like, for example, I always tell my sister that I want to name my, daughter Coco based on the character from Crash Bandicoot, but she always remarks how, that's also kind of like a porn star name or a stripper name. But I mean, just in general, do you think, it's kind of cringe-worthy or just dumb to name your son after something like a video game character or whatnot? Or do you think it's just like a normal thing that people do? All right, hopefully that makes sense. If I'll try my best to be in the podcast, but with this schedule change, it's hard for me to join in. But I'll make sure to watch the archive version, whatever it's called, when it's up. All right, I gotta get going, guys. Have a good podcast. I hope to see from you soon.
So,
Nice.
Full disclosure here, we almost named.
It sounds like cut off, maybe?
What?
What was that, Justin?
I don't know. I think he's glitching out a little bit.
Justin has departed, or something. What I was going to say was, very early on when we found out that we were having a second child and it was a girl, we almost named her Kyrie after the character in Kingdom Hearts, because my wife and I both love that game so much. We played through the first 2 Kingdom Hearts together.
Nice.
So I don't think there's anything weird about it at all. I mean, like, there's obviously some very strange video game names out there, right? So, like, maybe you don't want to, like, name your son like Rome Bafaramos Hyrule or whatever his name is in Breath of the Wild. But I mean, Sean Capri has a son named Link, right? So it's not unheard of. I mean, people have been naming their kids after movie characters and musicians for years.
Yeah, I think it does depend on the name. I kind of agree that Coco kind of has that connotation to it, but yeah.
It's on how you twist it too, right? So like
Right.
you mentioned, Sean Capri has his son Link, but it's short for Lincoln, if I remember correctly, right? So
I think so, yeah.
But they call him Link, and it is in regards to the video game as well. And my son's Sam is short for Samus. Did you guys know that?
Oh,
No.
I'm kidding. It's Sammy. It's Samuel. No, but
Wow.
you're a tricky fella.
I know. But we it's kind of like a nickname because he knows who Samus is. We joke around that his name is Samus too. So
Did you hear what? No, when Skyrim was before it launched, they had a contest. If you named your kid Dovahkiin, you'd get like a lifetime supply of their product. And
no,
Really?
think-
Ugh,
Did someone do that?
I think someone did that.
of course, someone would have done that.
but yeah,
That
it
would be
just all
one of
depends on the
those-
name, or it could be just like I said, it could be like what Lincoln is to Link, or Samuel is to Samus to Sam, or whatever. You could still have the regular day-to-day name, but the kid's name could be a nickname too.
Yeah, we almost named our daughter Boaty McBoatface, and we figured that seemed inappropriate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also
pretty
from the
good.
Wind Waker.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Justin, what are we gonna do with you?
Boaty McBoatface.
Childy McChildface. Oh,
We were
and
gonna
on
name
that
Sammy.
note-
We were gonna name Sammy Cuphead, but that didn't work. out.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. On that note, we're going to close out episode 303 of Nintendo Dads. We want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. And as we close, we want to remind you we got a brand new merch store over at tpublic.com where you can buy brand new swag, including our celebrating 300 episodes and 6 years of podcasting shirt. And everything from mugs to journals to all kinds of stuff is available over there. If you can't find us on TeePublic, you can head over to nintendodads.org. It's where you can donate to our Extra Life. You can find all of our podcast episodes. You can find our tweets, our videos, as well as a link to our store. And as we close out, we want to say a huge thanks to Patreon producers Chris Mears, Dave Ernsberger, and Antonio Contronio. You can find us in most places like Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just type in Nintendo Dads. And we want you to send us emails like these kind people who gave us questions via Discord and Twitter and other places tonight. You can hit us up at nintendodads@gmail.com. or like Mecha Dragon, you can call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music we use throughout the show. And remind you, download and rate us on your podcast app of choice. Give us a 5-star review and some words. If it's in Justin's case here, if we could give it a 6 out of 5-star review, we would, right?
Yes, sir.
So there you go.
Take that, Xbox Drive.
That could be your words too. Instead of saying something, you just say, "I would give this 6 stars."
That's what I want someone to put there. 5 stars, and then said, "If I could give it 6, I would." You're flawed. That is all.
Yep, love it. Guys, we will be checking back in next week with episode 304, followed up by Extra Life 2020.
Let's go.
With a schwack load of prizes. A schwack load of prizes.
Schwack load.
Thank you for everyone who has already been donating. Thank you, thank you. You guys are so awesome.
And go donate again. Just go donate again right now.
They're wanting those prizes.
Yeah, even if it's $1, just go donate. Thanks so much, guys, for your support. For me, for Justin, for Jesse, for Tim. This has been episode 303 of Nintendo Dads. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Wobble Puffet?